Welcome back to the Fast Life Podcast. I want to thank you guys for being here, and I want to thank our sponsors. As you guys know, I lay down as many miles as I can every year, and my helmet of choice is a Simpson. Have you guys checked out the new Speed Bandit? It's a new helmet from Simpson that boasts a very affordable $279 price tag, but does not lack in style. I've had the Speed Bandit for quite some time. It's super lightweight and utilizes the same visor as the Ghost Bandits. Head on over to SimpsonMotorcycleHelmets.com to check out the models, finishes, and visor options. Also, give them a follow on Instagram at Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. Lexan not only can keep your helmet banging with your favorite tunes or podcasts with the FT4 Pro, but now offers their WPC QI wireless charger, which is a water-resistant wireless charger for the Ram Mount X grip. This is an easy setup system that uses a battery tender style plug for easy install and will only set you back $64.95 with a 2-year unlimited warranty. You can also grab yourself a Lexan WPC and Ram X mount for $110 at lexan-moto.com. And at checkout, drop the Fast Life offer code and save yourself 15% off your entire order. And don't forget to give the team a follow on Instagram at Lexan Moto. Paint Huffer Metal Flake continues to innovate and bring new flakes pearls to the table for us custom painters. And Paint Huffer is one of the most supportive paint-related companies out there with many artists on the team. You can get started down a custom paint path with some rad products at painthuffer.com, and you can get some inspiration from at Paint Huffer Metal Flake on Instagram. And don't forget to use FastLife20, I believe, at checkout to save yourself 10%. I have had my 100% Made in America Invisivin sticker cover on my bagger for over a year. For me, cleanliness on a bike is everything, and these Harleys from the factory come with that huge sticker they slap on the down tube. It's a huge eyesore for me. This steel powder-coated cover makes that go away instantly, and if you're getting hassled by the man, it's easy to pull off due to the N52 rare earth magnets. So it's going to be locked on while you smash miles or rip wheelies, but easy to pull off by hand. Covers start at $39.95 and make an immediate difference for those who want to ride hard and look good doing so. Head on over to Invisivin.com and throw that Fast Life offer code to save yourself 15% and give these guys a follow on Instagram at Invisivin. Thundermax and their ECM computers are designed to provide your EFI-equipped Harley-Davidson the most advanced auto-tuning available, meaning that this computer tunes your bike to the conditions in the air and are simply providing the correct air-fuel mixtures for your bike's engine upgrades. Also, their iRide rear suspension system, which is a performance air ride suspension, giving you the ability to adjust many aspects from the handlebar-mounted touchscreen. This rear suspension is the best of both worlds. Check out these products and many more at shoptmax.com and use offer code FASTLIFE for 10% off and give these guys a follow at Thundermax EFI on Instagram. John Jessup continues to pump out some killer bikes over there at Team Dream Rides, and he could be getting your bike dialed in as well at his shop out in Stockton, California. It's a spot for in-house dyno tuning, parts, service, bike sales, and customization. TeamDreamRides.com is also a great place to get yourself dialed in with all those parts you've been dreaming about and take advantage of that 100-day same-as-cash financing on all products. All you need is a job and a bank account. And don't forget to give John and the team a follow at DreamRidesJohn on Instagram. Welcome back to the show. We have a great episode for you today with some good friends of mine and some badass dudes and individuals and talented people, as if you will. Jeremy from Lucky Strike, Steve from Hawkeye Kustoms, and I want to say Bodywork by Ben is his name. I did not get a chance to really get to talk with him much, but it was a great podcast. We talked about a lot of shit. We also did a podcast a couple years back in Daytona, and we kind of reminisced a little bit about that situation. Since then, since the Daytona 2018, I believe, these guys have all went full performance bagger, which I'm really stoked on because they've built some amazing bikes. And Jeremy's paint work is out of this world. One of my top favorite painters. He's your favorite painter's favorite painter. Let's just put it like that. So I'm really excited to have these guys back on. They were ripping their bikes across country from Pennsylvania here to Dallas to see some friends and to come do the podcast. So really stoked about that. And, yeah, let's get right into it and here these guys are.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Fast Life Podcast.
Welcome back. Welcome back too, because you didn't quite. We didn't release that one.
No.
Which, by the way, I still want to listen to it.
The problem is, this is the problem with that podcast, and for you guys listening, it was the second drunk cast we ever did. It was an epic time, but
I do have it saved. Saved.
The issue is that trip for me was the first time I used that little recording device, and also we're talking about like 2 months into this whole podcast thing in general, so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
Right. So it record in some kind of crazy way where like every mic was its own thing. It didn't record it all together. And by the time I got back and tried to put it together, it was a shit show of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And even my brother really couldn't even mess with it because he knows more about it than I do. But
then we also talked a lot of shit on everybody.
Dude,
like it was bad.
Had to air all that shit out.
Yeah.
So
basically, 2 hours down to 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was a good time. I think Jetty tucked in his dick and walked around the corner.
Yeah, he showed me a little snippet of that
You
video.
had that?
Yeah, he does have the video of
I got
that.
it saved.
Yeah, it was a magical time. And then I still vaguely remember him ordering pizzas and just randomly opening the door and
He was eating pizza and drinking beer with his helmet on.
yeah, exactly. And he also was drinking with his weird flipped up hat,
Yeah,
through
hat.
the brim. Yeah. God, we were super drunk then.
It was a good time though, man.
Oh yeah,
It was.
one of the best times in Daytona, I think. That year.
The crazy thing about that Daytona trip for me was, and I've said this happens all the time, right? You go to a trip and you hate it. Like I just said downstairs, I enjoyed it with you guys, hanging out with you, but I hated Daytona as a city, as a bike trip. The camping was horrible.
Yeah.
It was freezing, dude. I've never been so cold in my life at the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that was the thing. It's like this year, it was actually really nice out. Riding around with Dixons and long sleeve T-shirts and shit. It was really nice actually this year.
I don't know why they don't just move that place somewhere else that's like more welcoming.
Yeah.
Well, even like the outskirts stuff, it seems like they're shutting down some stuff.
Yeah.
Like pushing it away. Like the town don't want it. It's like the Pirates paint show at the park.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to do that there no more.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few different things.
Yeah, I think it's that little area where they did have the Perowitz paint show. They were talking about moving all that shit out when we were there last time, and then now that was 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because even that Indian dealer, I don't even think they really had any vendors down there or any of that stuff. But we didn't even go to the Rat's Hole show or any of that stuff. So we just zipped out of town and
how long were y'all there this time?
we were there for the whole week. It was still pretty much Sunday to Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
But then
did y'all go last? Y'all didn't go last year, did you?
No.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. You had your bagger, or what'd you take down there last year?
The bagger I have now, but it wasn't done yet.
Painted? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just black and stupid.
Hey.
Oh, like mine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like yours. Yeah.
So how you liking it, man? I am taking full credit for converting you guys to performance baggers.
I would
100%.
agree with that 1,000%.
100%. I told
Okay.
you that the bike you had down Daytona is what sold me.
Makes you feel good.
It does. It
I was
does.
like, yeah, I inspired.
Yeah.
And the fact that you
I
ride
don't
your
know
balls off.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of like an influencer.
Kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I will give you a case of beer for your influencing.
There you go.
I appreciate that. No, the riding, like I said, you guys, obviously in Pennsylvania, when you're going to Daytona, it's really hard to make that a bike trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
So that's something I've learned over the time of doing this podcast and talking to people in different parts of the country is that I get it. Like not everybody can jump on the bike and be road warriors like I try to promote, but with you guys doing this, and y'all did another trip recently too, somewhere.
Yeah, me and him went
just-
to
yeah.
Ocean City just for the weekend, and
A couple days to kill. And
yeah,
How far is that from
I think
Pittsburgh?
5 hours, 5.5 hours, something like that.
yeah.
Dude, I was supposed to be there hanging out with you guys in June. I had every intention. The whole thing was mapped out to go from here to New York to Laconia, Maine, Mount Washington, and come back and come through Pittsburgh and hang out with you guys. You're in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
come
just
out-
south, but yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of like springing on the last minute, like, hey guys, me and my buddy need a place to stay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
not
definitely.
planning
I mean, I got couches and
Yeah.
why not? But yeah, it was the trip to Ocean City was kind of messed up because we didn't even know it was spring break, so there was nothing but high school kids and us fucking idiots. So
It was just a totally random one.
What
And,
When did you pick up your Road Glide?
I picked it up in February and got to work on it pretty quick.
And so you already got bars done. What else is done in that thing already?
Waiting on front suspension to show up. Actually, I just got tracking today, so
That's good.
excited about
a little
that.
late, but it's
Yeah.
good.
Did the rears, Olin's on there, and then cut the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the body work on that, shaved the rear fender, little shit like that. So
See, I like that tank cut thing. I just don't know if what I concerned about is the gas lossage. How much did you?
So mine's cut pretty aggressive compared
Yeah.
to some people's. I probably lost maybe half a gallon, to be honest.
it's not that bad. We still were doing like 150 miles, 170 miles on the tank.
Yeah.
not bad.
Like, 'cause
And I mean, we were also hammered
Yeah.
pretty good, you know. So I mean, once I do the motor, I'll probably lose a little bit more, but you know,
Yeah,
cost to be cool.
Do you have the 114 model?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I love my bike, man. Like I said, it's hands down. Like this Road Glide, the 2019. With just the mild stuff I did to it, it's amazing. It starts every time, it runs, it gets me everywhere I need to go. Way more confidence in that bike taking trips than I was on my FXR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The FXR was fun because you never knew if you were going to make it home. You know what I mean? It had a sense of just kind of, like, let's see how this goes. You know what I mean? But the Bagger, man, it's just such a solid bike. I know they had the issues in the 17 model when it came out with the sumping and stuff, but apparently all that stuff has worked out, and I have had zero issues with my bike since I've 32,000 miles now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, by the end of this trip, I'll probably be pushing about 12,000 miles on mine, and I got it in 19. And I think he's probably going to be even more.
Like 16.
Yeah.
somewhere by
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. So like
17.
right now during the podcast, I just looked. We just did 1630 so far, and we still have to ride back, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're from Pittsburgh to here at 1630.
Well, no, we still like rode around
Yeah,
Nashville
for
a little
sure.
bit, and ran around a bunch of Harley dealers down here in Dallas and shit. So, I think mileage
I'd
wise,
say we're like 12, 13.
yeah, I was
somewhere
gonna say
there,
probably somewhere around
if we
that.
didn't ride around.
That's cool. Yeah, how'd you like Nashville? Y'all looked like y'all had a better time than we did.
It's shut down. It's not,
It was
the
yeah.
same.
Did they shut? So there was more shit shut. Were you able to do anything down there, like the
like
honky tonk or
4
Kid Rock?
bars open, honestly. Like
for
on
real?
Broadway, there, yeah.
Yeah, see,
then
it was
they-
my first time. These two dickheads took me around, and I was like, "This is kind of boring." Like we watched a crackhead get arrested. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is
Oh my
how you
God.
guys do it in Nashville?"
Yeah, it
You
goes
know?
hard down there, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
we
but-
talked to the police and everything. I mean, it was great.
Broadway, there's like 4 bars open and stuff, and if you got into one, you sat outside for an hour to go in and have a beer.
Yeah.
Like
Serious?
the wait time was killer.
Well, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's we did the Smokies, going out there. Everything was a little bit more open, and then when we got back here is when they re-shut down here in Texas to get like now the mass shit they have going on everywhere here, and
yeah.
When was your reshut?
huh?
When did it reshut?
Right at the beginning of July.
Okay.
So they said 30 days, which would technically be up in another week. But I think our governor was like saying it's going to be another 4 weeks. And I'm like, I'm so glad I'm going to Sturgis for 2
Right.
weeks.
Yeah.
get out of the mess. Yeah.
It's just, man, I'm so torn with it, man. I'm so torn. I don't know. I do care, but I don't fucking care. I'm being a crybaby, and I really just want to get back to living life the way it
Yeah.
was.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and that's the thing is like I tell this to a lot of my customers and friends is I don't deny it's not real, but at the same time it's like nobody did this for the regular flu or N1H1 or H1N1 or whatever the hell it was called, and it's like just don't lick random strangers and don't be dirty, and I think you'll be fine. But I mean, shit, we went to one of the Harley dealers today, and everybody's got the big signs on the doors that say mask required. Salesman came rolling out without one, and we're like, hey, do we need one? He's like, does it look like Halloween, Junior? And I was like, oh, okay, guess we're good. And I mean, we walked around that whole dealership for probably 20 minutes without anybody saying shit.
Dude, when you go into a gas station, you don't wear one around here, I feel like a total badass, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
I do it on my
Straight
way,
gangster.
Too.
Everybody's like,
Yeah, like
walking away, like, look at this
Like-
guy. What's he?
Or the way I like to get them back is like when I go to a restaurant and you have to wear it to go sit down, then you can take it off. That bullshit, I never wear it when I walk out. I let them know, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, it's like
Food was
whenever
good.
we had breakfast at a joint in Ocean City, and we didn't have a mask on, so we actually wore our helmets to the table. And the lady was very adamant that we had to have masks on, and it was outdoor seating. I mean, we didn't even go into the restaurant, and that's where like one of my Instagram posts where I just had my helmet on trying to eat through the helmet. It's like this is freaking crazy.
Yeah, the problem with it all, and it's the same thing. Like you'd hear people that would just like pull their shirt up over their face. Dude, it's the same shit.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as like putting on a bandana or any of that. But dude, I was like, can I just hold my breath till I get to the table?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm walking around just blowing air on everybody and shit. Like, it's, I don't know. The stuff is a little bit. It's like played on. Like me, like when I come to work every day, I look forward to going to lunch to sit down to a place that has service and Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And just catching up on the internet for a little bit, having a meal, just being out of the shop, because you know how it is when you paint bikes or build bikes, or even, you know, with you working on bikes and painting. I don't know, you paint everything, right?
Yep.
So when you're in the shop, you know, sometimes you don't have that 15-minute break after, you know, 2.5 hours or some shit. Like you're just grinding, and you're in the zone. And sometimes like the only time you can stop is just by leaving this bitch.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
So,
and that's the thing. I mean, like, it's, again, I'm not denying it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is. But, you know, it feels like, depending on where you're at, you know, the politicians or whoever is like trying to one up one another. You know, it's like, oh, you're going to be closed for 30 days. I'm going to make it 45.
It's the woke competition, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's crazy.
The crazy thing is, if this shit is all cured by November 5th, then we got a problem.
Yeah,
we know what it
exactly.
was.
You know
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it's like we were down in Daytona whenever the whole COVID, you know, mass hysteria really hit. And, you know, I think we're out, you know, drinking with Curtis Hoffman or whatever. And, you know, all of a sudden, you know, Monty Roach, the pinstriper, was like, dude, I just got a message that says they're, you know, canceling my vendorship. They're telling me to get out tomorrow. And, you know, it's like everybody was just starting to roll out of Daytona. And, I mean, it cut our trip, you know, by about 2 days, I'd say.
Yeah, it was 2 days
early.
early.
Yeah. So, I mean, we went and got the truck and trailer and loaded everything up and just booked it home.
Since then, man, nothing's taken place. I mean, so they canceled that. Then right after that, Giddy Up, which is our pride and joy here, got canceled. Or not, they canceled last year. The replacement show for Giddy Up got canceled. Arizona Bike Week got canceled. Mama Tried got canceled right after fucking Daytona, because it was like the week afterwards or something like that.
Yeah. Laconia got pushed back.
Yeah.
You
Where's
know.
Laconia going now?
They still have
Is it
it.
September or something like that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't
You
remember.
literally just asked me yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest problem with all these pushbacks with all these people is like now it's like infringing on other events that are taking place. Like, you know,
you're gonna have to like prioritize what you want to do.
big time. You know what I mean? So it's almost like either dumb it down, you know what I mean, or, you know, it's like the same thing everybody keeps asking us about Sturgis, right? Hey, are they going to shut Sturgis down? Y'all been to Sturgis?
never been.
Yeah, I've been to
So,
Sturgis.
what are they going to shut down, bro?
Yeah, nothing.
There's nothing there to shut down. Like, there, you know, like it's not like Daytona, right? Daytona is an entire city. There's multiple areas that you can go be a part of the shit show, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they shut Daytona down, like, you can still do all the same shit. You're just like the grounds where maybe a certain set of vendors are there now, they can't be open or some shit like that.
they shut down the racetrack area, you know, which makes sense. But like, yeah, with Sturgis, I mean, you're not closing down a whole town like Deadwood or Spearfish or any of those. It's just not going to happen.
More than anything, hold on, this is making me burp. More than anything, as much as I would love for Sturgis to be, you know, business as usual, for the industry and all the people that make a living going and selling or providing services at Sturgis, the selfish side of me is like, go stay home, dude. Like, this is going to be one of the most amazing experiences going to Sturgis, as like the grassroots of what it is. As long as the campgrounds are still open for us to go do, which every state's like, hey, you can go camping if you want, bro.
Yeah,
cool. I'm down with that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that, you know, like the Airbnbs might get a kind of shut down where people just don't want strangers staying in their house and stuff. But I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But plus, with it being the 80th, people are going to go regardless, no matter what.
That too, and like just everything being shut down all year. You know, I mean, like, this is open.
Yeah, they're kind
It's
of
going to
looking
draw
forward to
so
it.
many people that just want to get out.
That's what's crazy about it, because, you know, our camp out was the end of April, so we're a month and a half into it, right? And, you know, we all got shut down here. Restaurants were shut down. You couldn't eat it inside any place. My wife, you know, she cuts hair. She couldn't do it. I know your old lady with tattooing. I'm sure she's been off work for a minute. You know, but everything, bars were shut down. dude, we had the biggest attendance we've ever had for our camp out. You know what I mean? And a lot of the people on the other side of the Rockies didn't make it out, which I get it. There was that's a lot of ground to cover. You know, not that the east to here wasn't, but it's kind of weird traveling across the desert versus traveling through the multiple towns you go through coming from the east. But yeah, we had a huge amount of people come. It looks like Steve's camp out up there in Michigan was huge this past weekend.
Yeah, except it rained like a motherfucker.
It rains every year on that camp. Right?
Yeah, jeez, it was like a typhoon rolled through that freaking place.
We've had that, dude. Every year we've done our camp out, it's been the same. It's been the same narrative. It's been like rain in the forecast. We might get one shower, but then it's just like the perfect weather every other time. And it's, when it comes to these events, like, to me, you just got to go with it. Like, if it's going to be a rain event, then we're fucking Woodstocking it, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun in the mud.
Yeah.
If not, then you make the best of circumstances, and that's what's awesome about these more grassroots style bike events, Obviously, I don't want to do any snowstorms. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I've ridden in the snow, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
Because, like, even whenever we went to Daytona, I mean, luckily we did truck and trailer because coming through the mountains of Virginia and West Virginia, dude, there was white outs. And, I mean, I had the truck in four-wheel drive. And it's like, all right, we're going down this bastard in a white covered road. It's like, here we go.
That's sketchy, man.
Oh, dude, it's super sketchy. It's like you got $100,000 of motorcycles in the back and the trailer sliding
That's got to be
around.
like the crate. That's, like my real good friend Mike, FXR Mike, his trailer, they were coming back from the FXR jam yesterday or Monday or Sunday, whatever day that was. I'm lost, man. I'm on Sturgis mode right now, so I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, especially you're going to have some long hours painting your bike.
Yeah. So he ended up, man, the trailer hitch on the truck broke, and the trailer went and it flipped the truck.
Well, I just seen that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen it on
dude.
social media.
Dude, I'm just so glad he's alive. You know what I'm saying? He's a really close friend of mine, and but man, he's had some bad luck. He's living my 2018 year right now. We were talking about earlier.
Dude, it's like trailer and bikes. I mean, you're constantly worried about them and, blowing tires or, have a bike fall over. I mean, shit, like our buddy Joel's bike, I mean, his fat front tire doesn't fit into a pingle.
Yeah.
So, like, we tried to bend it open in a vise and we kind of got it to fit. But, I mean, shit, I think we drilled like 15 holes in Steve's floor just to, like, build, like, wooden cribbage to hold the damn thing up. So...
shit was still kind of loose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you can, you do like 10 miles with a loose bike in there, and then it's rubbing your bike and the bike next to it maybe. So it's like you have a higher likely chance of fucking up your bike in a trailer than actually riding it.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
My trailer's 7x16.
Yeah.
We put 3 full-size baggers in there.
Yeah, it was tight.
And we didn't figure this out until the day we were leaving for Daytona.
Yeah.
So we left like 6 hours late because we had to figure this out.
Yeah. Like, luckily it was a Vino, so, like, one bike went all the way up against the wall and, I mean, just jammed all the bikes in there.
I still, like, every once in a while when I'm loading trailers like that, I got to find that meme where they put the, like, weight on the car.
Oh, yeah.
And
it, like, swivels back and forth violently. Yeah.
Yeah, that way I can figure out what the fuck's going on and be like, okay, this is not right. I got to change this around.
Yeah. See, I just tell everybody, it's like, just put a lot of the weight up on the tongue and you'll be all right. Okay. For the most part, but
yeah, at least won't sway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a 3500 dually, so I mean, it didn't even know that trailer was back there. But like I said, it was sketchy coming through West Virginia. And
so what was the main motivation for this trip right here?
Something to do.
I know your buddy moved down here to Addison.
Yeah. My best friend moved down here. I think it's probably been 2 years now. So
2 years, seriously?
Yeah. It's been I think 2 years.
I feel like you were here earlier this year.
No, it was last year. Maybe it was only 1 year. I don't know. Time fucking.
2 years ago was when we were in. I don't know. I remember you were here and I was out of town when you came here.
Yeah, so maybe it's been a year and a half. Let's call it. But I mean. Me and Steve and our other buddy Joel kind of talked about this, and then got Ben involved and met him in Daytona, and he's not a giant dick and he's kind of all right guy. So
thanks. Appreciate that.
I got let go from my normal job, and fucking no better time than do it now. I got all the time in the world, so here we are.
It's funny how things work out, ain't it?
Yeah. Degenerate Tour 2020 has officially come to Texas.
So before, how much more of this, like, more major highway miles have y'all done before this performance bagger stuff's got in your system? Did you ever do any big rides? Like
last year was my biggest. I did 2,000 miles, and like that was the most I've ever rode, like one round trip.
Yeah.
This one should be what we say it was like 34,
35,
35,
3,400 by the time it's all said and done.
That's not bad.
No, and that's like before and stuff. Like I always had like the big wheels or had something. If I rode to a local barn, that was all I rode.
Yeah.
And then once, like I said, your bike down in Daytona, I fell in love with. Bought one, started building it. So all I want to do is just ride that thing.
Dude, and it's like all of a sudden.
It's like I don't want to go to a bar. I want to ride 200 miles to a bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's crazy because like watching all the videos of you ripping that bike around, it's like you're doing rolling burnouts.
Yeah.
You're like almost a stunt rider, bro.
Dude, everybody that's seen his bike is like, Brandon, you got crash bars, you do wheelies? It's like, oh, shit.
We're trying.
Yeah, I think at least 3 days now in a row, he's been like, yeah, when I get back, I'm getting a dyno. Like, I don't want to mess up the bike. I need a dyno. We got to figure this out.
Don't get a dyno. Get a soft tail.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it was just kind of the right time and good friends, and here we are.
Yeah, the trips, man, like that's where it's at. It's a. I've always said this for me as being in motorcycles since 2004. I've had to evolve into different things that look interesting. That way, I stay interested in bikes because the same thing over and over again can be very redundant. You know what I mean? Like just going to this bar all the time, and you're custom painting your bike and building it just to go to these other bars to do the shit. It gets old, like anything else does. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Like I said, for me, it was finding new ways to fall in love with motorcycles for the most part. You know what I mean?
And that's like, you can take a trip in a car, you can do whatever. But once you see it from a motorcycle, it's a whole different perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like riding down the road and stuff. Like you literally like, oh shit, there's a good photo op. Let's pull over.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that in a car.
Pull over.
Yeah.
We just kept riding.
Well, no, let's like look at the background, the mountains.
You're more in tune with what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? You're not like, like not that you can't listen to music or podcast or anything else like that when you're riding, but you're not fidgeting with shit.
No,
like
you're focused.
You're dialed in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we saw a bunch of craziness on the road. I mean, 18-wheelers trying to kill each other in the middle of the highway doing 90. I mean, it's
blown past him on the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Ran off.
Yeah, I got ran off by like an F-350 that had his tailgate down, and I assume his weekend camping gear was just shooting out from the back of it.
Yeah, it was great.
So it's like that'll be cool to take a Yeti at 75 and
there you go.
Right into the fairing.
Yeah, it's even when it comes to the trips, there's so many levels to doing like bike trips that like as I started diving in deep, because the first time I did a real big trip, it's just blasting major interstate highways, right? And you want to get to that destination, but then like as you start doing more trips, you start looking at the map and you see the shit off the highway.
Oh yeah.
These mountain roads or these like little towns in the middle of nowhere, or like me and my buddies are onto this we're on to like going finding grave sites from like old, Doc Holliday and fucking Billy the Kid and all those old history things, and finding these little towns and shit on the route. So we're not going super far out of the way, but we try to get off the highway as much as possible and find the back roads to go do it, which adds a tremendous amount of time to the trip. But
yeah, it's worth it though for the experience.
I agree. Well, the other thing is like, when you're on the highway, you're fighting so many things, man. You're fighting the Yeti cooler in a truck. You're fighting all the 18-wheelers.
I tell you what, the blown tires on the road all the way down here,
that was
insane.
Horrible.
They're the worst in the summertime because of the heat on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you deal with so much. You have to be dialed in more to the hazards in the road than if you're out just hitting these corners and going through these towns. There's still hazards out there, but it's like you get to really soak in more of the scenery and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just different. Next time you're like, okay, we've already rode to Dallas. Okay, how can we get to Dallas without going through straight 40 to 30 and doing it this way? That way you can see more shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's like our plans may have changed for the ride back home. So, I mean, that might be the kind of route that we take.
What are y'all thinking about doing on the way home?
Well, so the original plan was Pittsburgh to Nashville, Nashville to Dallas, Dallas to Biloxi, Biloxi to Maggie Valley, Maggie Valley to possibly like Virginia Beach or somewhere on the coast, and then back to Pittsburgh.
And, let me tell you about the misconception of rolling through those mountains.
Is that it's 2 lanes and you're doing 35 miles an hour.
Yeah. So, dude.
See, like the only reason I want to go to Maggie Valley is for that Wheels Through Time museum.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to see that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be closed for COVID.
I think they are closed.
Like
they
I tried calling them.
And,
nobody answered the phone.
Dude, just going through and riding some of those roads, like, you know what I mean? All that stuff is amazing. Have y'all done like Tell the Dragon and all that shit yet?
I did it last year. I did what that was the one through North Carolina, Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff last year.
Yeah, I've done most of it in a car, sadly, traveling for work, but not on on a bike.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would, like from here to, so you were going to go from here to Biloxi and Dallas to Biloxi?
Yeah.
We were supposed to.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
not
storm and
hard.
shit-
That should be a pretty chill ride, compared to what you just did from.
Yeah, because
Nashville.
I wanted to go to like Voodoo Harley just because they have a cool name
Yeah.
and like kind of ride through up Shreveport and all that. But I guess there's like a tropical depression, whatever coming in, and I really don't feel like riding through a hurricane if I don't have to.
Yeah, that's gonna. It's not. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've done not through an official hurricane, but a depression was coming through. We were leaving Panama Beach Bike Week in October once, and we got one right on our ass. It ended up catching us, but yeah, it's not super. I mean, it depends on the storm, but yeah, it was windy, but it wasn't like stop riding windy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like going back, there's definitely some back roads. There's this route from I want to say close to like Jackson, Mississippi, called the Natchez Trace. Y'all heard of that?
No.
It's supposed to be a nice, chill, kind of like Blue Ridge Parkway kind of thing. Not as fast as Blue Ridge is definitely
Yeah,
not fast,
no.
but it's not like a fast ride. But it's supposed to be like real scenic and shit like that. And there's a lot of cool gyms in Alabama, but Alabama's one of those weird states. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like one street over, you're like, dude, this is like I'm gonna get fucked up over here. And
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a weird time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it tonight and see what
When
what we
y'all
wanna
heading
do.
back?
Well, that's the thing is it's like, do we stay another night in Dallas and just kind of hang out and see what the weather does, or cut one day out somewhere? And I don't know what these guys want to do. But
Yeah.
I have zero plans.
Yeah, there's nothing really planned.
Yeah.
How are you good on time for work, or are you gonna
I'm
get
good.
fired?
No, I quit my job in March, so I'm full time on my own now. So
What
I'm here like him. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever.
Yeah, that I thought that I was gonna be able to spend so much more time on the road this year due to all this shit, but it's kind of been weird because it's kind of put a hinder on a lot of things coming into the shop. Like we've been waiting on parts for certain bike projects, certain bikes that were supposed to come late, so that puts me behind.
Yeah.
And so next thing you know, it's like just like a domino effect of shit that allows me to not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Basically, so.
Well, that's the thing is like, I know between like the paint business for like me and Ben, I mean, people were still spending money, during the whole COVID shit. But, I feel bad for guys like Steve, can't get shit. And,
Yeah, that's my biggest downfall. Like second week of June, like my actual business, I haven't been able to get material and stuff.
So what's your business?
I own a seamless gutter company.
Okay.
Make rain gutters and stuff for houses and that, but can't get material, can't get the coils, can't get the parts to go out and
Yeah.
provide the service. So that's like where this trip we planned it, and it just actually still having to work out at a good time.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Like that's the thing about all of it is that I was wondering, and I was kind of I've been talking with a lot of people about it, but I feel like as much money is being spent because I haven't seen a drop. I've been spending more money or seeing more people spend money on wanting the kind of shit that we do, which is totally a luxury. It's not an essential. You know what I mean? But I'm seeing more people spend it, but I'm also starting to see like okay, materials eventually are going to start to get to a point where it's going to be hard to probably get certain things. You know what I mean? There might be a big surplus, but I don't fucking know. But I feel like certain things are going to start to kind of hinder this stuff eventually as like, if put it like this, Harley hasn't made parts. They haven't been making parts for a while. So it's going to be hard to repair or replace parts, or if you're customizing a bike to get painted, they were planning on doing it in November, but now the saddlebags or the T-Sport or the Sport Glide bags are not available anymore, and they won't have any more until next year.
Yeah.
That kind of puts the project on hold in a sense, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and it's like even you look at a lot of dealers, they don't have a lot of bikes sitting on the floors or what they're used to. I mean, especially in the Pittsburgh market, but it's going to be interesting winter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, I think. So what with the paint stuff, man? Like we were talking about it down there, but I don't really like to get super grim on here, but I've been really diving in with certain friends of mine that work in the paint industry and talking to them, certain people in the collision industry. I don't even know where to start this conversation or how much to really spend on it, but I don't have positive outlook for the custom paint industry in the 10-year span. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to get interesting here soon for sure. I mean, the collision business I think will always be there, but the custom side, like you said, it's more of a luxury than anything. But what it's going to end up being is the price of the paint job is going to go through the roof just because of materials.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's what I was saying. That's also my argument with the collision, because materials are going to continue to go up, right? And that's going to cause insurance companies to raise rates. So it's going to like be felt at the consumer level, without even needing their shit to get done. Because now I'm not an economist enough to know if this is like due to inflation or due to whatever the case may be, but it's something that, like, when I look at 5 years ago when I could buy this amount of paint for this much, and now 5 years now it's almost 100% higher.
Yeah.
To the
and that's the thing, is it's always a trickle down effect. You know, like end users like me and Ben. I mean, raw material price goes up. That means the price of the can of paint goes up. And sadly, it's all about shareholders and all these big companies.
Yeah.
And as long as their shareholders are expecting this return, that, you know, gallon of clear could cost $500, and us idiots are going to buy it because we need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we just push that down to the customer. We push that to the insurance company. So that just always rolls downhill like every business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Steve has to buy another coil for his gutter machine at $500, you know, that customer's going to pay that because he needs it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's just like any other business.
At
But
that point, you don't have a choice.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and
yeah.
Some of it too, I think, is from the collision industry as far as the discounts that they require and want just from working for a jobber. I used to see it a lot. I mean, some of those bigger shops, they were working pretty big deals to get the material that they wanted, but everybody else is affected from it.
Yeah.
So,
but then it's like at that point, a lot of the paint manufacturers are relying on those body shops for quantity to make their money, so they're able to get a discount. But you and me and Ben, I mean, it'll be a miracle if I go through, I don't know, 50 gallons of material from January to December.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not even a blip on their radar, so why should they care about any of us?
exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, because when I look at what it takes to do a bagger, right? So we come from the big wheel thing, and the big wheel was like, I was painting baggers all day long.
Yep.
Materials were cheaper when I was doing that too. You know what I mean? Not to the point where it's not as much of a material issue, but now that, you know, my skill level is higher, I demand more for my time. And then now there's also more expensive materials, because at that time I was looking for not the cheapest materials, but the most cost-effective quality materials I can get my hands on. You know, like now to do a full bagger, if you're using the most premium of premium on the market, you know, you could easily have $3,000 to $4,000 in materials on a bagger,
absolutely.
on a factory bagger.
Yep.
Like not even the long shit, right? So, you know, as a rule of thumb, I don't know how everybody looks at this, you know, with you guys, but I've always thought like, well, if the materials cost $4,000, then the paint job is going to cost at least $12,000. You know what I mean? If you just chop it in thirds, I make money, my business makes money, and the paint costs this much.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's the hard part. I mean, customers don't see that because, I mean, no offense to our wonderful customers, you know, they just see the end product. They don't see any of the, you know, I got to buy a gallon. I can't buy a third of a gallon for your bike. I got to buy a full gallon. And, you know, that's the hard part of this business, is trying to make customers understand that. Yeah. And, you know, I come from like building SEMA trucks and shit. I mean, the last SEMA truck I did was a 63 C10. And I mean, I had $12,000 in just material, and that's just, it's sitting on the pallet.
Wow.
And, you know, I mean, frame got painted, interior, you know, engine bay, I mean, all that shit.
Damn.
And, you know, it's, then people want to bitch about a $100,000 bodywork job on a hot rod. Well, I got 5 weeks of my life, you know, 12 hours a day slinging on this thing and all the material, and all of a sudden here's your, you know, $100,000 paint job. So
yeah, and that's you know, I'm so far away from all the car side of things. Like it's been years since I've even seen a bumper in my booth.
And it's the same struggle.
You know?
I mean, it is, you know, just the canvas is different.
Yeah, I imagine that the price has got to be even more ridiculous, because every little body shop, every little hole in the wall shop around town will have a candy paint job sitting out front with some big rims under it.
Yep.
And they're telling customers, sorry, I didn't mean to burp.
No,
my
you're
face.
fine.
You're like in my way. But no, like you're telling customers that like, you know, these guys are like, oh man, we can candy paint your car for fucking $5,000 and a repaint, like a new color.
Yeah,
of course,
Earl
those
Scheib
are,
that bitch.
Yeah, these are also the cars that a year later have a silver roof.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
And they have
the gold faded down.
all the shadows are candy red.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, like even in the bike business, I mean, I've had a ton of customers that said I had my bike painted by Shop A, and I'm not happy with it. Paint's peeling off. I want you to do it. Well, you should have came to me in the first place, And a lot of times I kind of remember those customers because they're like, you were a little expensive back then. All right, well, you might have saved $1,000 or $2,000, but now I'm going to make that back off of you.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, I get those. I don't really get that too much anymore, but every once in a while, I get customers that have parts that have a lot of paint jobs on them. I'm like, let's be real. It's kind of cheaper if you just buy new parts.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If we start from scratch.
And it's like whenever we did Steve's blue Softail, I pretty much told him when I dropped the parts off, I was like, if you crash this or you get a ding or you get a dent, like it is a complete redo. I had 36 mils on that bike by the time it was all said and done by the flake, the graphics, the candy, the clear. And at that point, luckily he hasn't been.
That's why it sits in a garage for the past 2 years.
He hasn't been super drunk and straight rolling burnout, third gear tap.
Yeah.
But, a lot of customers don't see that and understand it. And they just say, well, I got a little nick here. Can you just,
it's
touch
kinda,
that up?
Not to say anything bad about the customer perception of what it is, but they look at these price tags and they think that it's the one all do all, right?
Yeah.
It's this amazing art piece of paint work on a bike, but it's also supposed to be the most durable. This. I was like, no.
Yeah.
This is literally, for lack of a better term, art on a bike, and now you're gonna go, live on it basically.
Yeah.
You're gonna have issues, and those issues are gonna be way harder to fix correctly.
Yeah. Like I told one of my customers that was kind of dragging his feet on a paint job and complaining about the price tag. I said, this is no different than, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Is you're going to not buy that painting and set it in your front door area that sees the sun 24/7 and then bitch about it fading after time.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. You want that number 46 of 200 Mayhem Harley paint job. That's a production paint job. Yeah, it'll hold up just like your car, but you're going to have number 46 of 250 of those.
Yeah.
The one you're going to get is going to get a number of 001 of 001. So, what do you want? You might roll up to bike night with that same paint job thinking that you're, the king of the world, but there's another 250 of them out there, 249.
Yeah.
So.
See, I've been in this weird mind state the last probably year where I've been wanting to, I hate to say it this way, but for lack of a better term, train my clientele to approach wanting stuff from me as art and not as a material possession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as painters, we easily, in my opinion, I think we get lumped into the list of things we have to get done to the bike for it to be custom, right? So when you see the exhaust system, the Bassani exhaust, right? Oh man, I need that. It comes in a box. It's nice and pretty cool. I'll put it on. It's like a shelf item. It's like you're not going to Bassani, sitting down, tell them your ideas. Bassani's like, sketching. What do you think about this? And we kick it out. Like, they're not doing all this shit, right? They're just giving you a production piece. Same thing with all the other things. So what happens is with paint sometimes is I feel like a lot of people are even though it's not sitting on a shelf, they're treating it like it's something on a shelf that they're just buying real quick, and they want to, they don't know. There's no understanding of how long it takes to do these things. One thing I don't do anymore is like when people hit me up about paint jobs, they were like, "Hey, so what's the turnaround time?" I'm like, "Man, it's done when it's done."
Yeah.
It's like if we schedule it for it to be dropped off September 1st. And if everything in the world is going perfectly and I can get onto it on September 1st, I can give you an updated timeline of when it's going to be done. Or if you tell me that you need it done for SEMA, then I tell you, yes, we can get it done for you in time to build it and get it to SEMA. Or no, I'm sorry, we can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's that simple.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's the one thing. Like I'm very fortunate to have a customer like Steve where, every bike that we've done together, I pretty much ask him, what is your plans for it? Why were you going to ride it? Like his Road Glide downstairs, his idea was like a hot rod style flame job.
Yeah.
And knowing Steve, whenever that bike was black and knowing how aggressively he was going to ride it, I kind of designed a paint job based on, there's going to be a time I'm going to have to fix it.
Yeah.
I just know it's going to be. Again, I videoed this dickhead doing a rolling burnout second gear down please don't crash. But, it's the same time, like his street glide that we're doing. Turbo bike, big wheel, all the fun stuff. But that paint job is not easily fixed if
Yeah.
something were to happen. But he's not going to ride that bike like he does his road glide.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like I educate my customers a lot more
Exactly,
on,
yeah.
all right, what are you doing? Are you going to take a 3,200 mile trip to Texas and, get stone chips, or are you going to load in the trailer and go to Daytona? There's two dramatically different paint jobs there.
Yeah, 100%. And I do the same thing with a lot of the paint jobs that we do for that same reason. It's like, because I know, so I want to be able to give customers that really nice, elaborate paint job, but with that same thing in mind, I'm also thinking the fact that, okay, if they're going to ride, I'm going to have to repair this at some point.
Yeah.
Right? So I try to use colors that are not flake and candy in areas they're going to absorb the most, rock chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That way, and you know what? If they get one rock chip, I'm like, dude, wait till the end of the riding season. Don't ruin your day for that chip. Go enjoy this bike. Drop it a time or two. Just live a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after you've accumulated a life, or at least a year's worth of experiences on this bike, and all the things that are going to come, and then if you're super anal about it, bring it in. We'll fix it up. You know what I mean? But dude, like I was telling you, I've rode my bike for almost a year with the whole left side scratched up. They were in gray areas that was hard to see. It wasn't like on the tank or anything, but
Well, like you said, you just take pictures of the other side.
yeah, it's like I
even texted him one day. I dropped my bike trying to do donuts. Like, oh shit, we just fucked up the new paint job.
Yeah.
Just having a picture that I fixed it. Little black paint marker.
Yeah, this bad boy right here is just evil with a paint marker. So yeah, he's got Harley's vivid black down pat.
So this is the other thing about it. It's like, so I guess the argument would be for a lot of people is that if you're gonna ride hard, and I've always heard this, like, look, I ride, I don't want to have all this nice shit. Well, it's like, if you buy a full carbon fiber body set, that's gonna get rock chips too, buddy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like my bike. I mean, it's got all the Curtis Hoffman shit. I mean, it's got a crazy paint job on it, and I actually had mine clear vinyl wrapped.
I was looking on there. I was like,
Yeah, and it's like one of my customers owns a tinning shop, and he has the machine to do the whatever the hell company is, and he's like, dude, I'll wrap your bike. He goes, I'll cut you a little bit of a deal, and he goes, if you can sell it on a full custom paint set, I mean, that's gonna protect that a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to push that on some of my customers that are spending that $12,000-$15,000 paint job and might be riding it.
How is the adhesion of that to the paint underneath it?
So once the paint isn't fresh, like I tell the guys, wait about 30 to 60 days before you get that wrapped. I mean, my bike's been wrapped for probably 3-4 months, and I mean, it looks great. Hasn't bubbled. None of the edges have peeled up or anything. Whenever I get back, I'm doing the fairing, so it's been holding up pretty well.
So
actually.
basically, you want to wait till it's cured out before you put it on.
Yeah, it's no different than like wax and shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, all that clear starting to gas and dry and all that shit. I bet it probably turns yellow and bubbles or whatever. Because like you look at a white truck or whatever, like the little stone chip guards that you see on like the bedsides are always kind of yellowed.
Yeah.
That's just from being put on too soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, somebody's dropping $15K on a paint job and might ride somewhere. That vinyl. Clear brush.
That's the thing about it. It's like
impact.
I think that's the ultimate flex is to have a sick ass paint job like you guys. Not you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Calm down.
We've been harassing Ben the whole trip.
Do we?
Even a couple guys at the dealership.
Oh man, I was so upset when he said that.
Y'all carry this for a minute. I'm gonna go piss.
Hey, we grab some more of these.
Yeah. Well.
Or beers.
Oh man.
We're gonna have another beer infested podcast.
I don't know if he had that many down there. You might not be
here in Texas.
I mean, let's put it this way. I feel like they should for sure. I mean, see, me and Jace brought up the whole case, so we're good for a while. We got probably 12 left. No, enough left. So is this where we just talk shit on Jace?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should do this.
Yeah. He smells kind of funny.
Yeah. What do you say on Jace?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I'm just going to start stealing some of his helmets.
The wrong address.
He did give us the wrong address. If anybody wants to know where Jace lives, I have his address, and we'll sell it to the highest bidder.
I like that.
I mean, I feel like
really
that's a legitimate
buy
thing.
my material for my paint job with the money?
Yes,
All right,
yes,
good. I like
exactly. We'll do that. I think that'll work great. I don't know. How's the ride been for you guys?
So
Following me
good.
like for the past 1,600 miles, have I been speeding profusely?
I mean, 1,500 of them.
All right. Yeah, perfect.
A good amount.
That's all part of it. Yeah.
No, it's been good. I mean,
even for us, though, like I think us three ride pretty damn well together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't had any too crazy lane adjustments.
No, Steve though. Steve has.
I mean, there might be one or two.
Yeah. And you only launched your bike twice, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, full send.
Once in a turn, and where the hell was the other one at? Oh, that pothole or whatever the hell it was.
Oh my God, that was
Dude, I
bad.
come out of the
Yeah.
seat, feet off the floorboards.
Rear
that's-
tire
I mean,
off
launched.
the ground.
See, that's
Yeah.
the bummer about leading is I miss all that stuff.
And I
Yeah.
ran my foot over today.
Yeah, you ran your foot over today, so
However that happens,
yeah.
but,
man,
you
see,
know.
I miss all the fun stuff whenever I'm out the front. I'll make you guys start leading. Do all your friends make you lead whenever you ride, or
They don't make me lead, but I'm the only one that's really done all the shit. So
yeah,
See, I make him lead because I don't have a license.
yeah, that is true. Yeah,
So
yeah. Somebody hasn't had a motorcycle license for the past 20 years.
yeah,
so he's the guinea pig.
Yeah,
no, I do.
I'm the one that talks to the police.
You're the proper white guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I've done a lot of trips, and most of the trips that I've done so far, I've already done them, and the people I'm riding with haven't.
Gotcha.
So I find myself in the front, and then since I've done so many trips, I kind of understand utilizing gas stops the best.
Yeah,
So then I end up leading.
yeah,
I'll tell you one thing I like too about like following stuff. I don't like if I'm like on my own or if I'm with leading people. I'm following the GPS,
Yeah,
like to where to be mid pack or in the end or not being the leader. I'm just riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking at the GPS constantly, like focused on something.
yeah.
It makes it nice.
when so.
Wait a minute. What the hell are you doing to that beer right now?
Oh, smoke Don Chelada.
What the hell is that? Is that some like weird Texas thing right now?
Hell yeah.
I gotta try that.
Did you just put some like chili powder in your beer?
Hell yeah, brother.
Time out now. Okay.
So no, like when you do well, when you're leading,
Beer salt?
yeah,
This is a real thing?
dude, you fucking Northerners.
What the hell is
Goddamn
this?
Yankees.
Add to your beer? Wow. Now I'm going to have to drink a Dos Equis with Don El Chelada in it.
The fact that you guys are interested in that is mesmerizing.
Well,
Y'all have beer?
okay,
Y'all
so-
have Mexicans up there?
Kinda.
It
Sometimes.
Lowe's, Home Depot. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, Mexican restaurants. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, so whenever I came to Texas with Mark to move him down here, my best friend,
Yeah.
we kind of did like all the Texas shit. Like we went to Buc-ee's, we went to Whataburger, all that crap.
Yeah.
Made these guys go to Buc-ee's and walk through a Buc-ee's and see that craziness.
I'm not a fan of that, but
But it's a Texas thing, right?
I guess
I'm
I'm not proud of that part. I'm
Yeah.
proud of Whataburger though.
And that's exactly it. Like I told him, we got to go get
Yeah, we
burgers
gotta
and
do
get
that
some
tomorrow
spicy
before we
ketchup.
I always
and
say
shit.
Waterburger. Water.
Waterburger. Yeah.
I grew up.
Is
always,
it water or whata?
It's Whata.
Whata.
But I grew up just saying, "Hey, we going to Waterburger?" Because like it just kind of melds together or whatever. So I'm like, "Fuck it, it's my
Yeah.
shit." So
So yeah, I mean, maybe we are just gonna stay another day in Texas just so we can do Whataburger and
There-
what
there-
other Texas things other than beer salt?
there's a lot of cool things, dude. Dallas is like when y'all leave here and y'all head back. I wish I had my bike up, man. I go tell you, like we have some of the nice night riding through the city. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there's a lot of cool roads. You can hit a lot of the bridges. Really scenic with our skyline's real lit up. You know what I mean? And
I mean, we could do a shout out to Insta Kyle. I mean, Rule 42.
Yeah.
Do you know what Rule 42 is?
You got the tour pack.
I do have the tour pack, so you'll have to ride with me.
Yeah.
But 2 wheels, 4 balls.
Yep.
Rule 42. Because I did have Kyle on the back of my bike one night at Daytona, and he held me gently.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good thing he's a little guy.
He looks like he's a very gentle guy.
he is.
So, but no,
He's a generous lover.
we have a really good city that has a very scenic, and we have a really, really awesome bar scene that's not like, it's not like a trendy bar scene like your 6th Street in Austin or your Broadway. It's not that kind of bar scene. It's like we have little districts that have different types of atmosphere. So
Yeah.
from your Deep Ellum, it's a little bit more gritty, to the Uptown where you guys are probably staying is a little bit more uppity.
Yeah.
More, my dad's a lawyer kind of crowd.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
then, we have another one, Screenville Avenue. It's a lot more kind of like if those two fucked and that whatever the kid
This is
was.
what happens.
Oh, okay,
that's,
gotcha.
Exactly
That's
what
that.
happens.
Yeah, because like up where we're at, I mean, they're building the biggest freaking luxury apartment complex I think I've ever
Yeah,
seen
that
in my
thing
life.
is massive. Yeah.
It's retardedly
Yeah.
big.
We have a bunch of those here, man. Like Dallas is what do you call it? The
Gentrification.
no, not that.
Oh no, we're not going there. I was trying to be woke. So,
No, it's more like our residential growth here is pretty massive. Like we have a lot of apartment buildings coming up, and we do nowadays. Like the apartments we all probably grew up in, where it was like this complex, and like there was like this building, and then across there was another building. There was like a foyer or like a courtyard in between them and shit. Now it's like this square thing that. It reminds me if you ever played that video game Sim City growing up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like all the apartment. It's like that shit. Where it's like the buildings around it, there's like a pool in the middle and a parking garage in the corner, and it just goes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this thing's got to be, 20 stories at least?
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking nuts.
That's crazy. But your whole town got gentrified, though. I watched the video on that shit.
Oh, dude. Pittsburgh, shout out to those people, but like these freaking yahoos that are coming in for like the tech businesses and stuff. I mean, they're spending like $2,000 on like a studio apartment with like old dilapidated bricks for walls, and it's like
that's
dude,
dope.
I mean,
I dig that shit.
It's gonna be dope when that thing collapses on itself with your $2,000 leather couch in that bitch.
So the thing about that, so I was talking with my wife actually about this because she was asking about gentrification. Is that how you say it? Gentrification?
Gentrification.
So. It's kind of
it's the weirdos with tight pants and short shorts.
But it's not so much them, man, because like I dig the whole like there's some shitty parts of Dallas that's now fun to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are restaurants and bars all day long for sure.
It's more expensive, but that's the cost of capitalism, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could get a gourmet meatball made with like fucking buffalo and deer meat. It's like,
That's
craziness,
that's
but
pretty nice. Or you can eat Church's chicken. Y'all have those up there?
No, we don't have Church's.
Okay,
I've had it
Church's is
before,
like
though.
it's not good.
It's not Cane's. Is Cane's pretty good chicken?
It's for fast food. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like Chick-fil-A level.
Well, it's a different style of chicken. You just got to try it. It's not bad.
All right.
You know what I mean?
God, I think I'm gonna gain 55,000 pounds on
Dude,
this trip.
why do you think I'm fat?
Dude,
We did that first 3 days.
Dude, I eat Mexican food
$200 meals.
once a day.
once a day.
Dude, it's literally, there's a Taco Tuesday spot, so we go at street tacos on Tuesday. I went home, had tacos with my wife. Tomorrow, I think we're going to like a Mexican restaurant, so we'll get like rice, beans, enchiladas, and all that
And
shit.
tacos.
Man, it's hard when you work in the shop. Like when you do it all day
Dude.
long, you got to take that 15 minutes and you just grab food and get back to it.
So now, since we have the AC in the shop, I'm not sweating my ass off, which I think was a part of my maintaining a lower weight level part of my life.
Yep.
So like every summer would come around and you just be like up here to the point where I'm just walking around with no shirt on basically, right?
Yeah.
And my shirt's a headband around my head. And now I got this AC, so I like come to work. I don't even have to use my fucking baby powder anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's like I'm not sweating anymore. So I'm like, I feel like I'm just gaining pounds like a motherfucker right now.
Well, let's put it this way. Speaking of no shirt, shirtless over here. I'm pretty sure this ride down, he's probably lost at least 10 pounds of just water weight.
It was, he took it off in
From
Ohio,
Ohio, yeah,
and
from
has
Ohio.
not had the shirt on pretty much
Yeah.
since then.
Are you doing some hell yeah brother shit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You just out there fucking kid rocking it?
Dude, did you see his Instagram video that I posted? Oh,
Hands
dude.
back behind his head like this, feet up on the dash, like on the
loving
bike,
life.
like
Yeah.
on the fairing,
Hey, you do you, boo.
chilling.
Hey, that's exactly what it is.
So it's like me and him have a Lexan headset, so it's
Yeah.
like I see him all the way in the back, like something's wrong. So I kind of buzz him. I'm like, dude, you're all right. And all I hear is nothing but wind noise and him laughing, going, living my best life. And then he proceeds to pass me doing probably 110, just lean back, lazy boy style. No shirt, just covered in sunscreen.
Dude,
and
if I did that shit, every little part where the air hits my skin would be like this wavy.
Yeah, see, I'm like nearly albino, so like I'd be sunburned as hell, and this dude's like a golden goddess.
Need to get that
I
vitamin
know.
D, brother.
100%. You got to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing that's killing COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Got to
at
do
me.
that. But see, I think it also might be your alcohol consumption, and then
sure it
our
plays a
paint, and thinner and all that shit.
I'm sure
So
it plays part in it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you drink enough beer to float a ship, so
Right?
Hell yeah, brother.
So I mean, why not?
No, it's that's
Now, before we continue, what do I do? Do I just dump this in there?
Just
it on
dump
the
it
table,
in.
Rip a line.
Just a little bit.
Just put whatever you want. It's not like I'm not tasting it much in Dos Equis, but certain beers I do.
Is that too much?
Honestly, you're not gonna die. So.
Oh, okay. So is it like Old Bay? I mean, I am from the East Coast.
It's just like a lot of like folks from the Latino descent use that to spice up the beer a little bit, but I feel like Dos Equis has so much like instant flavor to it that you don't taste it as much as like
Is it supposed to foam?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. That's a
Yeah.
normal thing.
I put them in ultras every once in a while.
Yeah.
it makes it better.
And these?
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
Beer salt, Texas.
Well, that to me, like that salt's not the best compared to the other ones there is out there. You get those little cups, they're like Don Chilada cups. I don't know if I have one right now.
I've seen those before.
Dude, they got like all that shit around the edge of it, and you just put your beer in and you're drinking it, and it starts getting. Shit's so good, bro.
Yeah?
I love it. But
Steve, you game?
I'm good.
Come on.
Let's stick with the old Michelob Ultra regular.
Regular.
Hey, that's pretty good.
no, it's a good time.
Are we going to
like
have
that.
to try to track down some beer salt for you to take back to Virginia?
Dude, that
Yeah,
shit's
we're going to
everywhere.
do that.
It's every
I like
gas
that.
station.
I have never seen that anywhere in the East Coast.
There's different stuff for it. This one's not the best. I'll be honest with you. It's there's better ones. Just go to any gas station; they'll be there, right there at where the beer is, or when you go check out.
Yeah. Well, see, the other thing that we found out is that I guess Dallas city limits, like they only sell beer till midnight, and then they lock the whole like cooler and everything.
Beer, I thought it was till 2, but I could be wrong.
I mean, we got hit up for money by a homeless dude, and
oh, we got plenty of those.
yeah, and then we found out that we could only buy beer till I think it was 1 o'clock or midnight.
Yeah, we rolled into the gas station.
It's like 5 till.
The dude like throws us the key, or no, he ran over there, got us our beer.
Oh, I
he
know
came
you're
back
talking
out,
Yeah.
and there was a cop who walked in. He's like, "I need beer, like throw me
Yeah.
the key." And he
We
literally
drink
threw him the key.
Yeah, that's what's weird. That's only right now. It's weird. They're locking the door for the beer in downtown area.
Yeah.
because that happened to me the other day. But yeah, it's not normal like that all the
Yeah.
time.
So maybe that's a painter problem. Is we all like to drink profusely.
You know, I've been kind of chilling out on the beer quite a bit. I've been drinking margaritas lately.
Oh, well, it's also been 1,000 degrees. It's like the devil's asshole down here.
It is.
Fucking hell.
I don't notice it because when I come in, it's like the sun's coming up, and when
Yeah.
I leave, the sun's going down,
And you have AC in the shop.
and I have AC, so I'm kind of,
Best purchase you've ever made in the shop?
honestly, man, I have a good friend that did it for me. I just had to pay for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, man, it's one of those things that like, when I was growing up, I used to I used to basically fuck up cars and try to race them.
Yeah.
And, our dumbasses were like, dude, if we take the AC off of it, it'll go faster because that's less rotating mass and shit.
Yeah.
So we would pull the ACs off the cars and shit. And I was like, then you do that for 3 or 4 years at like 18 to 21 years old. And then you finally get a car with AC. It's like, what the fuck was wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I don't know.
Well, see,
how
whenever
many
I was
years.
16, I had a manual shift transmission. I'm like, man, I just like hitting the start button and just putting it in D and just minding my own business.
I don't know how many years I rode around in like Honda Civics with no AC. It's
Yeah.
the first thing we did. Put a swap in it, and like, no, AC's not going back in.
Yeah,
It
it's
kills
like
power.
fuck
Like,
no, you feel how heavy this is?
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
This is totally gonna make me lose. You know what I mean? Nah, it was tough growing up, but now like with this, like it's only hot. It's really only really nasty hot July and August here. That's it. It's kind of like Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Phoenix is pretty bearable for most of the year, but then there's 2 months where it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And same thing here. It's like we just have humidity out the ass, and we get those consecutive 100 degree days, and but after that it's like it's not bad here, man. Like when you leave here tonight, it's like the perfect riding. It's like when you've been in a pool all day and the sun finally goes down, and the water just feels perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it's like riding here at night. That's why I'm like kind of bumming.
even on the way here, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like, it was starting to cool
This
down. on
morning
the
was
way here.
nice. This
Yeah.
morning was real nice.
Well, and last night leaving Mark's place was pretty nice too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I said, right now it's this week here in Texas, it's supposed to be pretty cool compared to what it's been the last couple of weeks. But
yeah.
you guys did the right time. But no, the gentrification thing, like we were talking about that, right?
God, we did get off on a tangent
way
right
off.
there.
No, I think it's really look at it like this. Look at it from a standpoint of like you want to take your restaurant or your bar or your business and you want to try to make it. In those places that are already established as like bar areas or this, it's so expensive to get in place. Like so, you go find these areas that have great architecture, great buildings, but it just hasn't had a lot of economy put into it. And you go there and you open a nice place, you bring more money into the area. What that really does is the people that own houses and own businesses there, now the property values are worth more. So people that own things there benefit greatly. People that rent there do not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough one, man. But like that's progress, man. Like it has to happen.
Now, see, here's my question for that is, what does that translate to the motorcycle industry, though? Because I've had this conversation with like a lot of my dealers. Is like the gentrification aspect, the hipsters, the younger people that have all of a sudden kind of come into this area where they have money. Why aren't they spending it on motorcycles?
Well, I don't really see. I wouldn't say that they have money. I think that they have
Buy
allotted.
scooters.
Yeah, they all got scooters.
Well, it's kind of like they're thinking smarter, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you really think about it, like if you were, not that any of us really want to live in San Francisco, but if you live in San Francisco, you don't want a car.
Yeah.
You don't want it. There's everything you need is an Uber ride or a train ride away. If you live in New York City, that's probably more relative to you guys. Why would you want a car there where you're paying how much money to park it?
Yeah.
How much money for insurance? How much money for this shit?
Well, even in
You're sa-
Pittsburgh, it's like that.
Yeah, you would save thousands of dollars a month off your shit, right? So like the incentive is gone. The thing that I think that, you know, in a very vague statement here is that like the reason why maybe younger people are not buying Harleys is there's no inspiration to.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing. There's no sports out there with motorcycles looking fun. It's like, oh, that looks cool, but like these kids are a lot more scared. Our parents, or maybe us, you know, I'm an 82 baby, so I don't know, you know, my daughter's 18. I don't know how she wants me to go pick her up to go take her riding right now. My son likes to go ride, but he don't want to ride like himself. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like I talked about this on the Covington podcast. So we didn't really go into a lot of depth, but most of the 80s and in the 90s and even the 70s, there was this culture of people that would go and hang out and just, you know, whether they were street racing or just parking lot, hang out and look at cars. There was a culture. There was a cruise.
Yeah.
There was that aspect to the hot rod culture, to the motorcycle culture, that now you get more than 5 cars that look like they're out there to race. The cops are breaking that shit up in a parking lot or whatever. So it kind of, you know, I don't know how much of that. I know it still goes on. They got the coffee in the cars. They got all this other shit. I know it still goes on, but I just don't know how much it resonates to everybody now.
Yeah.
You know, like it did for, I know myself growing up. So you got to think, man, like a lot of this stuff is like stuff that they should have been planting seeds in these kids 10, 15 years ago to sell them bikes now, instead of only sitting on your high horse thinking like, oh, we're good, we're Harley, we're never going away.
Yeah.
Which they're not, but they just won't. They're going to have to go down and then restructure and build back up, which they're currently doing right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Have you seen the Panamera and what the hell was that one they're called?
the Bronx.
The Bronx, yeah.
No, the bikes are cool, man. Those bikes are progress, but they're progress for another market they're trying to get into. It's not a bike for me. I do want an adventure bike, and if this bike is here's the deal. I want an adventure bike. But when I look at adventure bikes, I think of GS. I think of a BMW.
KTM, you know, whatever.
KTMs. But I'm a BMW guy because, you know, I'm fancy. So
Bougie.
But I see those bikes, and that's what I want to do. I don't look at Harley yet, but if Harley builds an infrastructure the way BMW, KTM, Honda has for adventure bike riding, then they can be a major player, and I would love to stay brand loyal to Harley in that sense. But it's not just building a bike. You have to build a structure for an entire community of motorcycles that you're not currently in.
Yeah.
You know? If you ride a BMW anywhere in the world, there's a dealership there to take care of you with your problems, right? Harley's dealerships are everywhere, but they're selling you T-shirts.
Yeah.
You're not going to ride through a dealership in fucking Chile, you know what I mean? And other than getting a T-shirt, like there's not going to be you got to set up these dealerships to work on these bikes. All these dealerships are franchises.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a tough thing for them to build this infrastructure for these motorcycles they want to make.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, and again, how do you then sell that to a younger generation? You know, that $30,000 Panamera or Bronx or whatever.
So the funny thing about all this stuff is that they already did, you know, the Sons of Anarchy shit did pander to a whole younger generation, which is now on bikes.
Yeah.
Hands down. But they're just buying the bikes that are already out there.
Yeah, the club style FXRs or whatever.
Dude, I grew up in bikes for the most part. Since I was 21 years old, I've been running around bikes. When I was 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 7, nobody my age was riding Harleys. Now, everybody in their 20s is riding Harleys, to my knowledge, or that I'm seeing, you know what I mean? Way more than it was when I was a kid. So you kind of brought the youth into it. The problem is that there's so many of your bikes out there on the road, and they're not that expensive. And, you know, $5,000 comes a lot quicker to people these days than it did 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get a nice ass fucking Dyna for $5,000, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you're going to try to sell. I could buy this bike for $5,000, throw a couple thousand worth of parts on it, be good. Buy your bike, your new one, for $18,000, throw a couple thousand parts on it, and have a $300+ bike payment for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. they kind of cut their own throat due to capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird one with that one.
Well, see, that's like, I think me and Ben were talking about this. Like, what was your first Harley? Was it the Road Glide?
No, 04 Sportster.
Okay.
I bought it for $1,000 and literally just used it for a trade-in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had other bikes, like I've got street bikes that I'll do road racing on and little bobbers I built, but yeah, the first one was the 04 Sportster.
Yeah. That's like the right now I'm seeing like a lot of the younger guys instantly going to a bagger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, 18-year-old kid that now has a street glide or a road glide. But I don't know.
What happens is that they have to find a love for motorcycling, right?
Yeah.
So initially they're looking at these bikes like, that looks cool, that looks fun, let me buy that. And they do. And maybe they've clicked in with a crowd that's showing them the ropes, and they find something tangible that really glues them to motorcycling, or they don't. And next thing you know, they're riding side-by-sides and boats and, doing all this other shit that looks fun, just like bikes did at one point. But for those of us that like find motorcycling in a much more deeper fashion, or it means a lot more to us, I can't imagine living life without a bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would sell my paint guns before I would sell my bike.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know what I mean? That's just that's the craziest thing, is because I was painting before I was riding, but riding has been that, beneficial.
It's more than just a bike.
Yeah, it is.
It's peace of mind. It's freedom.
It's kind of an extension of who I am.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
That's why customizing them, these type of things, mean so much to me, because it's almost like, like I said, it's an extension of me. So it's almost like my tattoo or my outfit or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like biking, motorcycling, it's an amazing experience, man. I wish, I don't know if you might have this or not, but I wish I had that same feeling from painting. I love to paint, but it doesn't do as much for me as jumping on my bike and riding with my boys across country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, being in the corporate side of it, I mean, it's kind of killed a lot of that, and I'm kind of excited to get back out to being on my own and running Lucky Strike again full time. But, at the same time, it's like, good customers like Steve that pretty much just let me do whatever and, kind of do that, makes me happy. I'm super proud to see whenever a bike's done. But, I've had more fun rolling this week with these two idiots than anything. And, I mean, it's nice to just kind of set that cruise control, lean back, and just watch the, miles tick by. And
like you said, too,
kind of relax.
We don't have an agenda. We have a little bit of a planned out trip, but what happens, happens,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be a hard sell, too, for like young, horny kids to be like, hey, dude, us guys are going to go ride bike. We're going to go wild hog it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to share a bathroom in a hotel. The bathroom is going to smell like balls. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah. We're all sleeping together. We're sharing 2 beds, 4 dudes.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be on top of the sheets. You'll be under them. We'll be good. But see, like I guess was in charge of the hotels because I used up like the rest of my points from all the trips that I took for corporate world.
Yeah.
So like we're staying in some like pretty bougie fucking hotels and.
Dude, when you
enjoying
have
life.
a couple of people going, there's just like, if you're at 5's the max, but if you're at 4, you're at the sweet number of like being able to get a really nice room and you split it up 4 ways and you have like a $30 room.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And it's like, this hotel, I mean, it has a pull-out couch too. I think they're queen beds or
they're
some
good
shit. So,
beds.
they're super comfy and, Ben usually falls asleep because he snores first. Me and Steve are usually up texting, looking at, dirty hookers on Instagram.
Can we talk about snoring?
Yeah, and then I fall asleep and then I wake everybody up and it's a good time.
When we did our
I
trip-
sleep fine, so F these two.
Yeah.
So
it's at that point it's a competition. Like, hey, get your shit together, bro. Like
Yep.
if you want to master the sleeping around a lot of dudes that snore, you just got to figure out a way to get into this meditative state in your sleep.
Just gonna be hammered.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I just go to
Just
sleep.
pass out hammered drunk.
yeah, but see, I think the biggest problem is that these two guys like feed me full of beer and barbecue and meat and all that shit. Yeah,
Don't blame that on us. That was all you.
That's what I'm going to go with. So, just saying.
So now that PBG is, you close that door full time Lucky Strike now.
Yeah, that's the plan.
How nerve-wracking is it to try to – the business has been going. The brand has been going on for years, right?
Yeah.
But now you're having to start kind of from scratch with the actual equipment and things like that. Like, that's got to be –
And falling in at the time we were. with the COVID shit.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I was getting at. It's
yeah.
like right now with all the shit going on. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of rough. I mean, it keeps me up at night some days, and
fortunately, your wife does really badass tattoos.
yeah,
so-
I mean, and that's the thing.
That's
It's like
gotta-
there's a lot of things that are going on in my life just in general all at once, and it's a part of me that has a little bit of a worrisome to it, but at the same time, I sure as fucking getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of one of those things where I have good clients across the country that ship me stuff, ship me parts to paint for them. And
Have you ever traveled to go paint yet?
I have not. I'll probably be actually traveling to go to Clockworks. Brian has a couple projects that he wants me to do. So, I got a travel case, throw my guns in it, and a
Head
couple
out.
pairs of clothes and head out.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I have always wanted is I like my personal dojo, if you will.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you do, or Ben, where I know where everything's at. I know what I have. I know what I need. And traveling, is one of those things where my talent will travel with me, but should I forgot this? Or,
You become a MacGyver.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
like, all right, I need a paper clip, a half-eaten apple, and I'm gonna make this paint job work.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know how you do it with traveling to Covington's and all those places, and staying up all night painting bikes in
Well,
3-4 days.
What I would say about traveling to do jobs is like when you're out of your element here. First off, do it to places that have actual setups. Right, Covington's a nice place to go work at.
Yeah.
I've also worked at places where I've painted in plastic booths. Plastic sheeted booths. You know what I mean? That wasn't the best. But it does reflect the work that you do, and hopefully the shops understand that. But you try to get figured out what the paint job is, and you try to take everything you need for the paint job, right?
Yeah.
And then, but while you're there though, like when you're out of town working on these bikes or painting them, there's nothing else. Like when you're home or you're running if I was here, it takes me a lot longer to do projects here than it does when I go out of town because I have this place going on. I got a TV in every fucking crack of this place. I got an employee down there. I got fucking my wife down the street. I got the homies wanting to go have a beer tonight. You know what I mean? When you're out of town, you're just like, dude, I'm waking up at 8. I ain't got shit to do but go to lunch and then stay here until I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so you get so much more done so quick.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I think the lucky strike aspect. I mean, once people start finding out that I am full time in it, it'll start to come through. And I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of good customers that build bikes and cars and all that stuff. And just kind of excited to get back at it and hopefully kind of energizes my artistic side a little bit more, because one thing about the corporate world is it just beats you like a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
And it just beats it out of you, and all of a sudden you just start resenting everything and everyone, and you want to just roll through the shop with your middle fingers and just start tornado punching everybody.
There's something to be said about that. There's this innocence when you first start to paint that's pure. You know what I mean? And that's what I get kind of nervous talking about, these type of aspects on this podcast when you have a lot of people that listen to it that are young into the painting and stuff, and you don't want to I don't want to not paint the grim picture, but it's a struggle, man. Like as you go down and the deeper you get into it, the more money gets involved, the more the talent that you start to build. Now the projects have a lot more meaning behind them that you're doing. And so it really drains you, man. Like to the point where I miss the days when I was just painting my buddy's Camaro in the garage for free.
Yeah.
For, he'd just go buy a couple of gallons of tea and some Dr. Peppers, and we'd just fuck around in his car. Like those kind of things was so pure and almost innocent in a sense where it was not about money. It was about just doing it and seeing if I could do it. And then now, you fast forward, 15 years later, and it's like, man, I'm sorry,
It was simpler
dude.
back then.
I don't do anything for less than $100.
Yep.
I don't, if I'm going anywhere, it's $1,000 a day. Sorry. Oh, I can do you 9. I'm sorry, man. $1,000 a day, brother.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that, the PPG world was great, and I'll never regret it. I mean, it kind of sucks how it all went down just because of the whole corporate side of the world got involved. But, like I said, I got a lot of good customers that, have faith that I could do a good job, and, just send me stuff. And like I said, once they start hearing that I'm full time, and I'll get busier.
Need to get you on Paint Huffer, brother.
I mean, I'm down for whatever at this point. I mean, there's a kind of a big joke right now that, my territory manager that I worked with being a trainer, I mean, I know all the guys that sell paint, and I know all the jobbers that they were asking me if I was going to put PPG in my shop. And I was like, man, there's a part of me that wants to, and then there's a big part of me that's like, F them. I'll just put BASF in or whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things where I'm a firm believer, even before my PPG, mine drumming was, if it's good paint, it'll work, no matter whose it is. And, I've painted BSF, I've painted RM, I've painted DuPont. It all works.
Yeah.
It's just figuring out the intricacies of it.
Yeah. And, I'm a Matrix guy here, and I've always loved their stuff. Mainly because I can't spray PPG clear to save my life. I love PPG paints and everything else, but they're clear. I just can't. I've never worked with it. So when I spray it, I hang runs, and those runs are permanent because they leave soften pop. Yeah. And so I'm just like, you know what? At least for me, the Matrix allows me to fuck up and make up for it.
Yep.
So.
And I tell everybody, it's like, I don't care what you spray. I mean, you might be Matrix guy, Buck's Matrix, Poland's BASF, Randy's BASF. I could give a shit with what you spray. You do good work. I like you.
I will say that PPG does have the best matte clear.
Oh, for sure, 1,000%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you see. You go downstairs, you're going to see the PPG. Is it Ditzler? Is that how you say it?
That's one of them, and then there's Global D8115 and 8117.
Okay, so I use that. That's pretty much the only thing I keep for PPG because it's so consistent.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what you want to use. I don't do a lot of flats. I used to do it all the time, but I just don't do it that much anymore. Just because now it's like people want spots flat on their helmets and not like a whole flat helmet. So I'm like, man, like I don't feel like taping this shit off, Scotch brighting this little spot. And, you know what I mean?
Yep.
She gets annoying.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting here in the near future and seeing where Lucky Strike goes. And like I said, once we go.
Are you still for sure staying in like Pittsburgh or?
I don't know. That's always been the debate. I mean, I hate snow and I hate cold, and there's a big part of me that wants to move somewhere south, but not be far away from Pittsburgh because I still have family there.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's kind of a big thing that right now just have an open book in front of me and see where she goes.
Yeah, I'm torn. So I've done a lot of work here to make it what it is, but I still have a 5-year plan here. So, and I'm on year 1 already. So I got 4 years left. Dude, I want to move somewhere where it's everything I want, whether it's mountains or desert. I don't know yet. Just somewhere where I actually buy a house and I'm where I want to be. Because at that point, I'm already where all my work is male, right? So I'm already can live wherever. But I want to, damn, it's Dos Equis, man.
Dude, I think it's the beer salt, to be honest. Yeah.
No,
I didn't even put it in that.
Yeah. I stopped burping when I started.
Oh, come on
this
now.
in there. It is awesome.
But no, I want to, so when I actually do go buy a house, because I have my mom's house right now. Like I'm paying on that. It's kind of mine, but it's not like I put a deposit down or anything. When we sell that after we fix it up, my goal is to buy a house and have a shop, or probably around 1,200 square foot, like we were talking. And I'm actually going to put a real paint booth in there, not a homemade one, because it's like it'll be my shop. I won't mind like spending more money to make it perfect.
Yeah,
fucking insulate everything, make it dope.
Well, it's the same thing. At that point, you're really not having customers walk in.
I mean, even if I did, it's not so much that's an issue, but like, I would own it. You know what I mean? Like I've got like $12,000, which isn't much considering how much shit is in this shop as far as building it. But it's $12,000, and then you add another. Even though my buddy hooked me up on the AC, it was still $4,500.
Yeah.
So I'm $16,000, ish, on a shop that I rent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That in Texas, what's great about Texas is like what I pay rent here, I could get a fucking mansion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I bet. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, right now I got kind of the option to move if I want to, or set up whatever, but. Like I still want to do custom paint, but it's also a time where, me and Steve and our buddy Joel were talking. It's like, it'd be cool to do kind of like what Hamptons does, buy a used bike, throw some parts on it in a paint job and just try to flip, one or two a year, whatever.
Or raffle it.
Or raffle. Yeah, fuck now. Yeah, raffling.
My buddy just raffled his bike.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm heavily thinking about doing that on mine this winter.
Yeah. Well, it's like his blueprint bike. I mean, we talked about doing it.
Yeah.
So.
There's a few different things, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first winner gets, the bike. Second winner gets a lap dance from Steve or something.
Right, yeah.
And,
it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah,
should be first place.
Yeah, that should be first place, a grand prize winner.
Yeah, it's a weird one with the raffles because it's like a love or hate situation.
But the thing is, too, like, you're not going to go out and spend, like, whatever for a bike, but you'll spend $100 on a raffle ticket to take that chance. The bike, you maybe won $12,000 for it, but if you do the raffle, you might make 15. You know,
Yeah.
There's different things with it.
Yeah.
So for my bike, like I'm gonna want like 37
Well, yeah,
for it.
yeah. I mean, that's a different,
exactly.
That's a different story.
You know, but so I mean, like, but the thing is, like, at the same time, it's still just it's still $100 ticket or however many you decide to buy. So at the end of the day, like, you know, you're getting a pretty solid, you know, situation. You know what I mean? It's not like you're getting like what a lot of people I feel like are bitching about is that people are buying raffle tickets for like $6,000 bikes that are just $6,000 bikes, but they're paying $8,000 for it. So it's like, dude, like that's when you kind of take advantage of it, right?
Yeah, it's got to be realistic.
Yeah.
You know?
So like if you know, if say you did what you just said, like, you know, it's a $12,000 bike, but I'm doing a raffle for 414, then you take 1,000, you make first, second, third, fourth place prizes. Yeah. So it's not like you're pocketing $14,000, but you're actually making what you need to make. Yeah. But people are also winning other aspects of that prize. You know what I mean?
It's like the helmet raffles I did. I mean, you know, I think I made, you know, total out of it, maybe it was like $1,500. But after the cost of materials, the time, the helmet, I was probably into those helmets for $900, you know, $1,000. And then, you know, second place got a pinstripe panel, you know, or whatever.
I still want one of those.
I mean, again, I'll make one. You know,
I need one.
We'll put it over there.
Dude, I wanted to feel the whole thing about the studio in the area over here. So I have a pinstripe panel from Steve, the FX, Finish FX. That's right?
Yeah.
I'm drinking.
Yeah, I think it is Finish FX.
Yeah, so he sent me that. I actually hit him up to buy it, and he's like, hey, man. It's like, I said, no, dude, it's from my studio. And he, like, put my logo on it and sent it to me. So I thought that was cool. But, like, I love being, like, in my area where I create, I love being inspired by other artists. Instead of, like, you know, so, like, my little drawing table is nothing but, like, other artists that I like from, like, painters. Like, I think I got an Alex Gray poster up there, a whole bunch of different shit, you know, just stuff that kind of, like, put me in a vibe or a zone. So I feel like being, you know, in these areas, like when you create a studio for yourself, you want to be around, you want to surround yourself with all these really inspiring people like you, Poland, some of my favorite painters, you know, like you, dude.
Oh, me, stop it.
He's blessing.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we are creating art. I mean, no matter what it is, and you got.
Dude, I want to do more. Dude, I so badly, like every time we and you. Last time you hit me up about doing the helmet trade, I was drunk as fuck, and I agreed to it.
You did, and I'm pretty sure I saved that text somewhere.
And you just admitted it again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
no,
now it's on the podcast and everything.
I want to, dude. I want to so bad.
Well, see, and it's like I think what ended up kind of breaking the camel's back on like the helmet swap, because like I've been hit up by other people and not to name names, but it's like I'll look through your shit, and be like, I don't really want your helmet in my collection. Yeah. But like whenever me and Poland talk to me, we talked probably for about a month about like things that we like, things that we're into, you know, what he likes of my style, what he likes, you know, color wise or whatever. And the helmet swap between me and him, like granted, I think I made out in the deal because he painted a car helmet for me, and I just painted that shitty 3/4 or whatever. But it's like by the time it was all said and done, I mean, I did every trick I could. I mean, I hand painted a caricature.
That was the one with the number 3 on the side, right? That shit was badass.
And I mean, both of us, you know, had crazy helmets that, you know, shit. I mean, he gets bitched at all the time because he still wears it. Yeah. And he gets people that ask him all the time if he painted, and he's like, no, my boy did. But,
that's, you know, like I said, my helmet collection is all in here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's one of those things. So like, you know, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, so hopefully Simpson doesn't get mad, but there's a Carbon Outlaw coming soon.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't know when, but it's coming. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get pissed because I said that.
Well, I mean, at this point, they have everything else in carbon. I think they got a mod banded in carbon, right?
So I want you to do that one for me. That graffiti shit you've been doing lately, fucking amazing, dude. Yeah. So dope. And it's a lot like what you've done on your bike down there.
Yeah.
That style is just like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, for me, I don't want to have an input. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when people do that to me, though.
Yeah.
Like, as a painter, when someone goes, I just want your art, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, color, at least one.
Yeah.
Give me a color.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's the one thing. Like, even the helmet I have downstairs is Poland did for me, my Simpson. And, he asked me, he's like, what do you want? I'm like, dude, I like orange, I like blue. You painted a helmet like this the last time that I really fucking loved. And I was like, do something on the top like a board track guy, something super like board track racing. And fucking killed it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So when my helmet over here that I'm wearing this year, my 2020 helmet. So when I was I had that helmet for about 6 months, 8 months before I actually painted it for myself. And I was really on the fence because I wanted to put my grandfather on it, but I didn't really want to do the artwork again. You know what I mean? Because I did a panel for my grandmother for his funeral and stuff, and I was like, man, like I want to do the paint job, but then I want to like send it to like Steve Gibson or Ryan Townsend or one of my other, or Corey St. Clair, one of my other friends that paints, and get him to do it, but I know how those dudes are. Yeah. Maybe not so much Steve Gibson, but those tattoo dudes now, they're like, painting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the one funny thing. Like, I actually talked to Poland yesterday for a little bit, and I was like, man, the schedule of helmets is crazy. It's like I got friends that want helmets. I got customers that want helmets. It's like I really don't want to paint my own helmet. But I'll make time to paint yours or Ben's or Steve's or whatever. I got no problem painting them. But it's like as soon as mine shows up, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this at all. And it's like I'll send it to you, I'd send it to Poland, I'd send it to somebody else just to, one, have a piece of your art, and two, just have something cool to wear and rock.
For me, the reason why it's so I haven't quite got down the flow yet, the way Poland has it, or I guess maybe you, but Poland cranks out helmets.
Well,
right?
And that's the thing, is that's all Austin really does. I mean, he does bike stuff, paints bikes and all that stuff too. But like, I think him, and Docile Art, those guys have that shit down to a science. And it's like, I don't know if you follow R-Star, he's out in Australia.
Love him.
Like them guys.
That's what that color scheme down there is based off of one of his helmets he just posted.
Yeah, those guys just have that shit down to a science. And it just, those guys piss me off.
Yeah, so it pissed me off too. But no, that's the kind of thing about it. Is like as I'm trying to, I want to do more shit with the people or the other painters in the industry, or be able to, like, if somebody hits me up, I want to be able to say, like, it's not a 6-month waiting list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's tough, man. Like, sometimes I have a perfect life right now, right? It's perfect in a sense to where I've taken the last 15 years of figuring out how to make myself the most happy being in this shop every day. And I feel pretty happy every day, and that's the way I'm doing it. So the only time I don't get happy is when I get hit up for work that I'm just not in a position to take on yet, but I really want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you get those bike builders that want to finally work with you, or a repeat customer with a helmet or something like that you want to jump right on, but you're like, man, like I don't, some dudes have waited 6 months, some dudes have waited 4 months, some dudes are waiting way longer.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm not trying to do the work. It's just that, like, I put so much of myself in every helmet, and it might not be translated from the viewer. Like, the people that buy it might not see it or understand it, but I look at the fact, like, I have this little fucking shrine that I draw helmets at my house, and I just, I imagine myself in the time I spend sitting there drawing it, and that means a lot to me. That time that's at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. at home away from this shop when I should be hanging out with my wife watching Netflix or some shit.
Yeah. Like,
it's this creative time that I'm putting into each one of these helmets, and then when it finally clicks after, like, the 5th one or the first one sometimes, it's like, to me, it's like it's like making love, brother.
It is. It is. That's what I told Steve about his last bike. It's like making love to her. That's why it took 2 years.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, it's
long deserved years.
To what? To do the
to the bike he never rides.
Street glide?
Yeah.
I know I've seen it.
Yeah,
when did it get done? When
it didn't. It's still no. Like, he finished his end.
Yeah.
Yeah. My end's not.
Yeah, it's still sitting there apart.
So how do you, like, now that you're riding, like, the this type of bike, the performance style bikes, do you still feel like because obviously the other bikes you have are really badass, like the Softail's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
How does it feel like jumping back on that? Do you feel like, man, if I was just on my bagger right now, I could have fun? Or,
to be honest, the Softail, I haven't touched it since Daytona.
For real?
Yeah, it sits in my garage. It just sits there. Like, I don't do nothing with it. That's it. I'm gonna put it up for sale. I don't know. Like I said, like, the whole performance bagger thing just took off for me. Like, I fell in love with it. I love getting on the road and seeing new shit. You know what I mean? Like, meeting, like, you guys and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't have done that with the other style bike. So I don't know. It's just a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I mean the bike's still badass though, because I can feel
no,
you'd want to rip it sometimes, but like, so for instance, like this, like I remember I had my gold FXR and I had just bought the brand new Road Glide, the one that I rode to y'all, but it was just blue, so it wasn't painted yet, and I wanted to ride it because I wanted to, you know, like just fucking drop 20 grand on it, or I financed 20 grand on a bike, so I wanted to go ride that damn thing, but realistically, you know, like I still wanted to ride my painted up, nice ass gold FXR all the time. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, I'm total opposite. Because even like when we were down Daytona and stuff, like the whole time I was down there, I was paranoid as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sitting on Main Street, everybody's walking up trying to fill the lines and the paint. You know what I mean? Like this one, go ahead, push it over.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, it's awesome. Like, I don't know. It's just a whole different world. Like, I love it.
It's a different mentality to where you like really enjoy motorcycling for a very pure type of thing. But like the thing is that like you guys are doing, like you have completely custom bikes still.
No, we do.
They're just maybe more mild to the Softail and the other stuff that you've done.
Yeah, a lot.
But they're still custom bikes.
My motor's built. You know, I got the 124 and stuff in it. Mm-hmm. You know, chain drive. You know, T-bars, like all that stuff. Like it's ready, but it's not the Softail. Go sit in a show for 6-7 hours in a parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll go 6-7 hours on the road and I'll care. But I don't know. I love it. It's totally different.
I told him I needed to finish the stupid thing just so I could see my paint. Like, I could care less if he ever puts a leg over it. I just want to see all my paint put together.
Oh, on the Street Glide? Yeah.
Because it's like that new Mazda color that they have, their candy red and black with like giant gold leaf or silver leaf engine turn. It's fucking absurd. But
it's
I think I know which one you're talking about. You've posted a picture of a teaser pic of it at least.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really posted anything of it.
I don't know.
Like
it might
together.
Be fully out. Well, not together.
Yeah, I think it might have been just like on my frame stand or something because like all the graphics flowed between all the tank and the side cover and bags and shit. But
see, I really wonder about that side of the industry. Like, is that gonna when we did the podcast last, when we were hanging out in Daytona, I was telling you guys about performance baggers and blah blah blah. I had my whole spiel of it, right? It's taken a while for it to really come to fruition across the country. You know what I mean? But now you see drag, you see Harley getting involved, you see a lot more people accepting it, and the scary thing, I guess, in my sense, is that what pushed me into the whole thing was the fact that the big wheel bagger crowd got so toxic to be around.
Yeah.
That I wanted to take it back to the basics of just riding bikes and having fun again. And now, what scares me is like if we're playing another game of like in a couple of years from now, I don't want to see all the big wheel bagger guys come over here and turn it into their. Just like we have a problem with Californians moving to Texas, we don't want them to turn Texas into California.
Yeah,
we want you to come here and enjoy Texas for what Texas is. That's the reason why you came here. So with performance baggers, I want people to come and find this bike like you did, and you did. And what were you riding before this?
It depends. I mean, it was either street bikes or like little bobbers that I'd built. I mean, it's completely different.
Yeah, it's like, I want you to come to this and enjoy it for what it is, not change it to what you just left.
No.
You know what I mean?
And see, I think the evolution of that's going to be the amount of money people sink into them. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing too with like the performance bagger end. Like, you can do a bars and exhaust and ride across country and be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the whole big wheel thing, like you can't just throw a big wheel on your bike and be cool with that.
Yeah.
Everything else has to come along with that.
Yeah, you got to have floorboards. You got to have all that
like
shit.
It's all that stuff.
And that's the thing is like the guys that are now going to start building the performance baggers are going to be putting a shit ton of money into them.
Yeah.
And
that's what's going to make it grow.
And that's the thing is I hope it doesn't go towards the money side where, again, the guy that was rocking the Affliction jeans and like the cowboy boots and the 15 sizes too small shirt.
Yeah.
Now is on a performance bagger and, never rides it but has all the Olin shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
There's two sides of that coin, right? Because at one side, all the people that are maybe not necessarily new to the industry, but they're in the industry to build these bikes. They've always done Dynas, Softails. Now they're in the performance baggers. You want those money guys to come in and start helping you like build bikes that are amazing, but you almost want to instead of you saying, hey, like this is going to be a $70,000 bike, you know, but if you're going to trailer, dude, I don't even want to build it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that you can't trailer, but like if you're not going to enjoy this bike for what it is, like then let's not do this. Let's just do you a fat tire bike or some shit like that, you know?
And that's going to be the thing. I mean, I think the kind of like race that they're now having at the King of the Baggers in Laguna Seca, I think is going to show a lot of, you know, what's out there. Because like MJK is building a crazy bike for that.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
And I mean, it's just gnarly what people are going to start sinking into that thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's always built some bikes that had crazy amounts of things into it, which is, you know, cool. It's helped progress the scene. I think that the only thing about it is there's lots of grassroots people that's helped grow this thing, from Curtis Hoffman to, you know, Daniel from Proper Baggers, you know, Big Bear, Steve Chamberlain, lots of grassroots, like, you know, I say Big Bear and those guys, but more of like us smaller entities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's helped push this trend or this genre of bikes. And what's always like a thing is like, it's kind of like when you rock like a band before they're famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're the one telling all your buddies, now all your buddies are into it. And now everybody's into it. And you're like, well, fuck, man. Like I never even got a shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, again, I'll tell everybody. I mean, you definitely
not. I'm not saying that I need that. I'm just saying like that's.
I'm giving it to you whether you want it or not.
I mean, I was inspired by RPM Moto. You know what I mean? Like RPM Moto was on the Hot Bike Tour, and I was on my Gold FXR, and I was riding next to these dudes from Maryville to Johnson City, Tennessee, and is that a fart?
I don't know what that was. Jeez, like we heard it from up here.
Dude, he farted nice, bro.
What the hell? Oh my god!
I can hear it good with the headphones on.
Oh, even better.
So, now when I was on that trip, man, just riding next to those bikes, and this was before the M8 popped out. Dude, I was in love with it. I was like, because I've always been a road glide guy. I mean, that's what my big wheels were road glides, things like that before. So when I saw these dudes rolling road glides with 124 twin cams in it, painted up, flaked out, paneled, just like I had just kind of started to do, I was like, that shit is sick.
Yeah.
So dope. I bought a road glide a month and a half later. You know what I mean? Those dudes inspired me. And then it was them and all my buddies in NorCal that were already riding road glides with T-bars on it.
Yeah.
So, and then.
Question for you, and you got to be honest, Steve. Did you fart downstairs? You did? It was? Oh my God.
It was like a freaking duck.
We heard it all the way up here. He said he heard it in
I was
headphones.
taking a piss in it.
That was a long ass fart, dude.
It wouldn't stop.
I'm gonna go see if I can beat it.
Joe, Jesus Christ. Now it's going to get weird. He even stopped what we were talking about and said, I heard this in the headphones.
As long as I was pissing, it was fucking
That was good.
Wow. You are a classy.
You get an award
man.
for that one.
right.
Wow. Good
Hey.
for you. Cheers.
That's what I'm here
Cheers.
for. Entertainment.
Entertainment. Wow. So what are you going to do on your bike, Ben?
Next up is paint. Try to get that done before either Laconia or Smoky Mountain Tour.
So you're going to tear your bike apart during riding season?
As soon as I get back, it's going apart.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of work lined up, but I got to make time for it.
There are
'cause
two
I'll do
witnesses that he is going to have it done for the Smoky Mountain Tour when you go down.
If not, I'll do the exact same thing I did this time.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
true. There are a lot of witnesses.
If not, I'll do the exact same thing I did this time, where I finished all the metal work and painted it black.
I just heard it. I swear I just heard it.
Wow. So are you going to document your bike paint job
Yeah, I probably will.
on the Instagrams?
Yeah.
Tell
most
everybody
likely.
what your Instagram is so everybody can follow you. So whenever if this doesn't happen, we can all ridicule you
It'll happen.
mercilessly.
Got it.
Trust me, I was mad that I didn't get it done to now.
Yeah, well done. We heard something downstairs.
No, I didn't do it. I just pissed.
There was something down there.
No.
Just step on a piece of wood wrong for like 5 seconds.
Come on, guys.
All right, let's classy
I like
this
to
up.
come on, guys.
Wow. So Ben said he's going to have his bike done for the Smoky Mountain Tour. You planning on going to that?
No, absolutely not.
On what aspect?
Lots of them.
Going to Smoky Mountain or Ben getting his bike painted?
No, I just went there.
I mean, still, you can't come out and hang out with us fucking idiots.
Y'all should have came with me.
Touche.
Right.
I got nothing. So are you riding a Sturgis the whole way? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't do that to me last time. No, man, I'm not trying to get into it too much, but I'm not really feeling that whole vibe, many aspects, but of the Smoky Mountain V-Twin tour.
Yeah.
It's a great place, you know what I mean? But I don't really want to get into that. I don't have a lot of great things to say, so
Yeah.
They'll
see for us it would be the last of the riding season
Yeah.
from home.
Yep.
It's still halfway
good time
decent
for
in
you guys.
October. So
Like my buddy Mark Norton, y'all met him down there, didn't you? At Daytona, he had the gray CVO Road Glide with the gold MJK swing arm and all that shit.
When you were down there?
No, this last year.
Oh,
this year.
no.
was it at the hardcore show?
Yeah.
I think we might have met him.
Yeah.
I think we did.
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
His nice bike. He has a Dyna that we painted and he was building too, but it wasn't ready yet for Daytona. Damn, this shit's making me cough. But no, he's doing he invited me out to a big house. But like the thing is that like that, I think that show is right around the time that I have to ride to California every year, man. Like that's like Superman in the sun, brother. I need to go back there and just absorb this, and that way I can go back. I need to ride there. I driving there, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Riding there. So for me, this Sturgis trip is going to take place, and then as soon as we get back, it's going to be a good month and a half grind, and then I'm hitting the road again for California. And this time, the reason I bought the tour pack for mine, I don't know if you noticed.
I did notice.
Okay.
You got
Over there, yeah,
tour
it's
pack and
nice.
everything. You get part of the cool kids like me.
Yeah. So first off, I got this camera gear now, right?
That's fair.
So that's taking up a lot of space, but I really want my wife to not go with me to California, but fly in, and then we'll ride all of California, and then she'll ride home with me, right? And I want to try to start getting her more, hopefully she digs that kind of riding, because that's really what makes me the most happy is that kind of riding.
Yeah.
Going across country, camping, all that shit. And so I want to do that at the end of September, and it'll be, that'll take place. It'll probably be a 2 to 2.5 week trip. So by the time I get back, it'll be back to the grind. I won't be able to go back to Tennessee or any of that type of shit. So,
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? And everybody bailed out on Sturgis. All the performance bagger dudes are like, we're not going to do Sturgis this year. I was like, dude, be a fucking man and go to Sturgis every year like an adult. You know what I mean? Sturgis is Sturgis. Like, you don't miss Sturgis. Like, you grow up and you count Sturgis as like you count those poker chips at the dealerships you collect, dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's the big thing is, for us.
As y'all are not going to Sturgis, I'm talking shit.
Yeah. Well, really, I would love to go to Sturgis, like in the worst way right now. But it's just like for us in Pennsylvania, the Sturgis is like might as well be on another planet.
How many miles is it? Like,
miles wise, I don't remember, but trailering out the year I went out, it was almost like 28 hours in the truck.
So probably 1,700 miles.
Yeah,
it's probably in that neighborhood.
It's probably close to that.
Yeah.
But it's like whenever I went out, like it basically turned me off on riding out.
Oh yeah.
Because like we cross like Michigan and that whole neck of the woods and kind of go across there, you get caught in one of those South Dakota storms or something out there. You are not hiding from that bastard. And good luck if there's a tornado, because you might as well just go straight Alice in Wonderland or what is that, Wizard of Oz or whatever?
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, yeah. So like
the rabbit hole is that.
yeah, exactly. I can't keep my Disney movies straight, but we got caught in some pretty serious hardcore rain in the truck and trailer, and I mean, still was doing 25 miles an hour with the windshield wipers going at Mach 7, and it's like, fuck, we still got 20 hours left in this motherfucker.
There's this real great saying that Danny Dixon and his number one guy Justin out there say. It's called FitFo. Figure it the fuck out, dude.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
when you're riding and you get rained on and held on and snowed on and cummed on, all that shit, you just figure it out.
What kind of ride are you doing? what the hell?
Shit's getting weird.
Yeah. I got 5 beers in me. No, no, it's like that's part of the journey, man. Like those times, dude. I hate for my listeners. I hate to say this again, but when me and my buddy were leaving Born Free and it was 120 degrees, but we were ready to go home. Fuck it, we left and it burned. Literally to the point where you put an ice chest in your lap, and by the time you hit 3 mile markers, it's fucking done.
Yeah,
you just you just got to figure it out, man. You push through it, and then 3 years later you talk about that storm again because that's the only interesting thing to talk about the whole trip.
Yeah.
Because you say like, hey man, this trip this went well. Yeah. All right, well, how was it? We're 5 minutes in the podcast. Oh, it was great, man. It's smooth sailing. All right, well, good having you on again.
Yeah, exactly.
Drama sells.
And that's the thing is like that trip. I mean, me and Steve will probably end up doing it and probably try and drag a couple other people with it, one day. But
I think what you're doing right now is going to inspire more people in your neck of the woods to want to do this shit with you.
And that's the thing. Like at home, like there's nobody. Like nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to.
You got to do it.
Town and go. Like,
you got to do it and show them it's cool.
I've done it by myself already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like I went to Ocean City before I went with him. I had nothing to do this weekend. I just up and hopped on my bike, threw some clothes in a saddlebag, rode 5 hours to Ocean City.
Yeah.
For the hell of it. Come back next weekend. We were supposed to go to Jersey. Well, that canceled out. Hey, where do you want to go? Let's go to Ocean City. All right. Do it again next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, right now, like I think y'all are on the edge of the last of the big wheel bagger explosion, or the last of it being like the coolest thing. I think North Carolina's still stuck in that shit too.
I don't know. Pennsylvania's still kind of sketchy with some.
It's kind of the whole East Coast.
Yeah,
the East Coast.
We're late to the game on everything.
But like a lot of people are still, or at least if they're not in the performance bike yet, they're still doing like the fat tire stuff. But the big 100%. Wheel thing is kind of gone.
Yeah, it's playing out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So a lot of those dudes there are going to be. I feel like they're going to be looking for something interesting. And the thing is that like. When you guys started doing this shit, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, whatever the case may be. So like you guys are kind of also a part of like the growth of this, especially in your area, the growth of this style of bike and shit like that. So I don't know, man. Like you guys are doing this trip. That's gonna, you're posting it. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the pictures and little videos. So
yeah.
And even before that, when you guys would go rip around and do some fucking rolling burnouts at the. What was it, Memorial Day? That shit was dope as hell.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All kinds of stuff.
4th of July.
It's like before we even came down here, I was getting a new rear tire because I had, a million miles on it. And I was talking to my service manager. I was like, do you care if I just smolder this fucker off? I was like, I don't need it anymore, so let's just kill this thing down to the cords. And he kind of busted my balls. He's like, if you're going to do it, like he goes, you better do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a video of me on Instagram doing a big rolling burnout that's now known as the Lucky Strike Shuffle, and because like I had some like weird pants on that like showed my ankles.
High water is fucking.
Oh, dude, it was weird, but I mean,
fucking Katrina of that motherfucker.
Oh, dude, it was bad. And then I proceeded to just let that thing eat, and I mean, shifting through the gears and just burned out and smoked out a bunch of apartments up the hill, but it was one of those things.
It was good burnout. The circle was on. Was it perfect?
Dude, it was
perfect. Yeah.
Fucking on point.
Because that's like my OCD was like, I want to see how the circle looks.
Oh, dude, like I'll have to send you the picture. It is perfect. And there was a debate on next tire I need is doing the same thing and either making a pair of boobs or making like two smiley faces, but like one smiling and one frowning.
Yeah.
Just to do it in the parking lot.
That's cool.
And but it's like I've had so many people look at my bike and like, oh, that's too pretty to ride. That's too pretty to do anything to. And the whole rear fender is undercoated now with burnt rubber. I mean,
yeah, that's that. I literally thought about that the entire time too. While you're doing, it's like, fuck, I don't want to clean that.
I just switch on my lights and stuff on the rear fender and stuff before we come down here.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a big burnout, like rolling burnout, like blowing the tire off and stuff like that. I'm under. I'm like, you're retarded, The rubber's falling down my eyes. I'm like trying to switch everything out.
But then there's the same guy that'll do a smoky burnout at an intersection in Nashville in front of one of those drunk buses full of like half-tamed chicks.
That was great.
Did you get one flash at least?
No.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, phone, grabbed it real quick, turned it around. I'm like waiting behind me.
Chicks these days just don't get it, man.
I mean, he made their day. Like they yelled, they did all that shit. But
back in the day, bikers were like guys that had like beads for Mardi Gras. Like we do something.
Reward.
You do, yeah. I'm gonna do a trick. You reward me. That's how this works.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's the one thing about Steve is he has no give a fuck when it comes to doing a rolling burnout.
Yeah, so you got to have one of those guys.
Well, and then that's the thing is like even the famous one that's going around Instagram here when we were down in Daytona of him going across A1A. Nobody knows this, but he was behind me and he kind of came beside us, and I had our friend Joel on the back of my bike, straight Rule 42 in it.
Yeah.
And Joel was the one filming it, and that's the price we pay for cool. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I had a 250-pound, 220.
He's not a small dude.
Yeah, he's not a small guy.
Yeah.
I give utmost credit to any dude that has a big chick on the back, because that bike is not easy to make a U-turn on.
Even with all the carbon fiber.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It
I don't-
doesn't matter.
That bike could be a unicycle in weight, and it would still be a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
But, yeah, he was on the back of my bike, straight nut to butt, and, filming Steve doing a rolling burnout.
Dude, you always go butt to butt on those. You turn around to video.
Nah, see, again, I'm all about being caressed gently.
Not
Yeah.
seriously, like I'm like super into photography and shit now, and I've been wanting to do like a point where I could ride on someone's bike, but backwards, like Michael Lichter does.
Oh, yeah.
To just get shots and stuff like that. I want to do it bad, but like,
What drew you into that?
Huh?
Like, what drew you into that? Like the visual.
I've always been into taking. Dude, I took pictures of you guys in 2018.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've always been into it, but
And one of my favorite pictures of this guy is a picture you took of him looking back over the soft tail.
There you
like,
go.
You know,
Right?
straight
With a nice,
pose style.
Ocean view, the beach.
Exactly.
and
yeah,
stuff.
Yep.
tight.
Yeah, looking back at it.
Dude, like guys like John, not stock photo. Jesse, he's one of the guys from the mag. So I remember the first magazine I ever got in, and the way I got into that magazine was I opened the magazine and I looked at the front and it had all the editors and the photographers in it, and early internet, I just fucking searched for them, and one of them lived in Dallas, right? So it's Sport Bike Days. It was Super Street Bike. I reached out to him through whatever channel I found. I don't know if it was email or if it was a Facebook or a MySpace. I don't or a phone number. I don't remember. But we became friends. And this is back in 2004, 2005. And while he drew a liking to me and the stuff I was doing, he would shoot my stuff, and that's how I got it in the magazines back in the day. And so, like, hanging out with him while he was shooting pictures of my bikes, I was always fascinated with that shit. And I was like, man, like, so crazy that I'm looking at this bike on this dock right here, this pier, and it's there, the image is there, but when you look through that lens and that camera, it's a completely different picture. That, you know what I mean? So that was always cool. I was like, you have the ability to make me look way cooler than I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget like meeting John, not stock,
Yeah.
through him, and he showed up at my house. He's like, find some places like around your area. I went out like looking stuff, and like he's like, no. We drove past this church. He's like, yep, that's it. It was the first bike he literally shot like for me, but like he did a couple for him. And like I'm watching, I'm like, dude, it's getting dark. Like,
Yeah.
how are we gonna do this? Oh no, he's sitting there carrying conversation, waiting for it to get dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like walking around with this like lit thing and stuff, and the photos come out like unbelievable.
His
And it's
style,
crazy.
though, his style is very. We talked about it on the podcast, and I can't remember, but I don't know if it's like his style is his style, but I don't know where that derived from. If it was another type of it for sure was another type of
Yeah.
photography. We're not creating anything new, but what he did in his style is so unique to him
it is,
in
dude.
the
It's crazy,
automotive
too, like-
bike world and shit. So when he came here, he shot my bike down the street, and we're like driving around the downtown area, a few miles away. He goes, yeah, I shot a wedding over here once. Yeah. It's like he shot everywhere in the country. He knows like all these badass spots. But the thing about photography is like, remember I was telling you earlier about how it feels to, when you're doing that craft and you're doing it for your buddy for a fucking gallon of sweet tea and a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, because you just want to do it, and it feels great to be like, see your buddy just get this shit that's going to cost somebody $20,000 in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For nothing. Same way photography is for me right now. It's like the one thing that I can give my friends, my wife, my family, it doesn't cost them anything. It's just something to do for them, but it gives me the satisfaction of like giving them a photo of them. And I mean, we all take pictures with our phones,
Yeah,
man.
we do.
But there's just something.
last night and stuff like not last night. The night before,
When those photos y'all shot of y'all's bikes in
it was literally like, dude, like here's our photo. Like,
Yeah.
we ended up in that Printer's Alley in Nashville, and like the neon lights and everything. Like,
yeah,
you
that was a
for
dope shot.
But you look for
your
that
bike
now.
didn't look that great. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Give me a page job.
It was the angle. It was the
I
angle.
took the photo.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you
it's
took
funny,
that one.
I took the photo of his bike in the
Oh, okay.
helmets, and he
So
took
you're
the
good.
photo of mine.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. Like, it's just something now that like I look for. You know what I mean? Like, it's more than
Yeah,
riding.
yeah.
It's all part of this performance bagger thing. It seems like it's more than just a motorcycle.
Yeah, for sure.
But
The weird thing that I was talking to my buddy the other day, I grew up loving comic books, right? I drew comics when I was a kid. I you know, when I was a kid in the early 90s, late 80s, you know, you bought a comic book and then that was the comic book you had until you got another one. Like, so you flipped it over, you read it upside down. And you know, the thing about comic book strips is there's perspectives in every frame. You know what I mean? And for me, I think that I grew up with that perspective of frames and how you look at it. And I think it's always helped me with bikes. Because when I do paint jobs on bikes, I have a tendency to sit around it. I have a lot of open space right there because I like to put the bike in the middle and just kind of roll around and see how the graphics roll around the back of the bag to the, you know, the side to the back and up on the lid to the fender, and see this flow, because this bike's going to be viewed at this angle, it's going to be viewed at that angle and this angle. And if all the graphics work at those angles, then you have a really great flowing paint job. And that's the same thing when it came to photography. Now, I'm not really a photographer. I'm just somebody that enjoys photography, and I'm working on whatever it is that I am. Just like I was working on becoming who I am in paint, doing the same thing with photography now, but it's just a different discipline that still works with paint. You know, because I still get to shoot the things that I paint.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but now I have a reason to want to take pictures of you guys and your bikes that has nothing to do with my paint. It's like, I'm not going to post it on the Fast Life Garage to show like, oh, these badass paint jobs that I just did. No. Look at these bad motherfuckers and how I was able to get a cool shot of them doing something badass that, if I'm lucky, it'll be a photo that works for you guys in your trip. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It might not. You know what I mean? But I might be the perfect ass shot, and you're like, dude, like this one really sums up this trip.
Yeah.
You know?
It was the same way when I was growing up. I was big into cars, like you've always talked about, but I ended up making some really good friends with photographers in the car industry. And it's the same way, like you end up being friends with them or knowing them. They always get those shots for all their friends, and they look awesome, and like they don't get anything out of it besides the enjoyment of doing it for them.
Yeah.
And it's neat because the end consumer, the guy who's getting the picture taken of their car or bike or whatever, they're like, now they got something they just fell back in love with, maybe something that they had struggled with building for the past like month, you know.
You need a different perspective sometimes, and that's what photography provides. And you know, I've been wanting to get John back out here to talk to him more, because now that I've been dabbling in photography, I have a million other questions. And some of those are like right now, I take pictures for the pure passion of it, the fun of it. Being able to go on a bike trip and have a nice camera and get really quality photos of all my friends and the experiences, that's worth it in itself. But as I get better, I know myself, and I know that I'm a business-oriented mind. So I know at some point I'm going to either make a little bit of money or make some kind of progress that is going to be valued. And then all of a sudden now I'm going to be in this game of like, I guess I'm a photographer now.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that scares me. I'm excited about it, but I'm scared of it. You know what I mean?
I can see you going with it though. I honestly can.
Well, so the page was to show myself and anybody that follows it the progression, because maybe to be like a little bit more Pinteresty here and shit, but like I want to show everybody that, like, you know, Jeremy's abilities isn't something he developed overnight, over a year, over 2 years, over 5 years. This is like a long, if you want to hear that story, go listen to that podcast we did, you know, when you were, you know, drawing cars and doing this shit back in the day and pinstriping and all these things that you did to grow to where you're at now. And we're all still growing. That's the crazy thing about it, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to get into paint, but they see this, like, they see the end result. They see the Instagram page. They see, you know, the followers or the nice paint jobs or the opportunities. The opportunities are the one things that everybody thinks that I waited 20 years for that Covington opportunity. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, like it's not something that just happened. You know, for some people it does, and those are the straight raw talent, natural talent motherfuckers out there. I had to grind to get to this point. I had to do a lot of paint jobs, some maybe not the best, some great but not, you know, mechanically sound as they should be, you know, those kind of things. So with the photography page, it was like, look, this is where I am now, and you get to watch me when I start.
Yep.
Now you get to see it get a little better, and then you can scroll back and you can see the beginning. which the beginning was kind of a couple years ago, but the beginning of me trying. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the difference with that shit. But
yeah, I mean, you definitely do a hell of a good job. I just want to see you ride and take pictures through your Simpson helmet. Like, what does that look like? Like, are you about to crash at any moment?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No. Oh, while I'm riding?
Yeah, like while you're riding and taking pictures. Like some of those ones on your last trip, like I asked you if you were riding and, had your camera around your neck. You're like, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. There was a spot on my gas tank where the camera hood lens, the hood for the lens was like scratching on my tank the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get rid of it. I was like, man, that's what happened there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like you value the damage on your bike as if it's part of the paint job, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it was you kind of figure that out. I mean, it's about. I mean, dude, if this dude can take his shirt off and ride, a lazy boy down the road, he can take pictures.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And like I said, like I'm just using
cruise control's an amazing thing.
Oh, it's like Ben's wasn't the greatest. Sorry, but I don't know. I enjoy doing it.
Well, everybody should, man.
And I enjoy finding that spot to do it. Not my bike, not his bike, whatever. Like looking for that.
Maybe a good perspective is like what I love about it is giving. For one, I can't give all my friends a paint job on a helmet or a bike or whatever. So sometimes a badass picture of them can mean a lot because I don't get a lot of badass pictures of me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got to fucking set a camera up on the other side of the shop, put a timer on it, go over there and look like I'm fucking cool airbrushing to get a shot to market with or promote or do whatever the case may be. And I don't like that shit. It feels fake because
it doesn't have a good feeling with it. I know what you mean.
So when you're on your bike and you're riding, someone gets a cool ass shot of you riding, you get to see how the world sees you.
Yeah, it's somebody else's perspective,
But so many people, I mean, not so many people. I don't want to say this is a downer, but it's just it's a simple thing you can give when your buddy pulls out a phone while you're cruising across the country and just takes some shots of you. Even if it's a phone, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking full DSLR or mirrorless or any of that. Just those shots, man. Like I got shots that my buddy Big Will Cody shot of me in fucking Wyoming or Utah. That I didn't even know he was fucking taking pictures. And sometimes when I ride, I'll like throw my hands back and just kind of like let the cruise control, take control. And I'm just kind of like, just kind of like leaning back and just letting my ass kind of steer the bike and just rolling and just letting the wind take my arms and kind of float them and shit. And then my buddy Cody caught me. It's a little cropped on the wheel. It wasn't like the perfect frame or anything, but it was
at 80 miles an hour. It still works.
It was an honest photo, and I love that photo, man. I'm really appreciative of that. And every time I see that photo, I think of that moment with Cody the rest of the dudes on the trip in that spot where we all. I think I was doing an Instagram live at the same time.
Yeah,
because we had we had the best service in America in the middle of nowhere. Because you could see all the cell towers because it was like a valley, so there was like no mountains to kind of block the signal or whatever. But yeah, dude, pictures they mean a lot, man, and they should. They do. And that's what I think everybody got. They got lost with magazines, man. They didn't want to buy them anymore because it's a picture. We can watch YouTube. We can get all the information somewhere else, but you never valued the picture. You never valued the act of writing. There's so much to it that now as I'm older, like I've always been a magazine guy. I got a stack of Easy Riders from 01 right there that I've been going back and trying to buy like the years and shit just to go back and read some of the stories and kind of dive back into that childhood of catching the world through that perspective. Cause we're all getting fucking bitch eyes by like fucking YouTube and all this easy shit. It's still good. I use it too. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but
yeah,
that right there means a lot too, man. Seeing those fucking old titties and the other shit that's on that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good time, man.
Well, see, I just want to know what the old ladies that videoed all of us do with that video. Like, do you think they just show like all their?
Dude, you're like firework videos, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like it's
chased down, coming down whatever highway.
Yeah,
and like cameras out the windows, like
like look at these weird bikers.
Like I was doing 94 trying to catch him, and she was on my ass the whole time, like following. And then as soon as I slowed down, she rolled by us, and they were all like out the window taking video.
Like, are they showing like people at like Thanksgiving? Like, look at these weirdos that we saw in Texas.
They might be bored and not have anything to do, and like they have this like tool that does all kinds of shit, and they're like, "Hey, look, I just got a fucking iPhone."
That is
Could be.
true. But I mean, you were also shirtless, so I mean, you might have
yeah.
some more followers on Instagram after this.
Be like,
You need to
whole
fucking tattoo your
pile of-
Instagram name on your shoulder or something.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a new lane right there. That should be across your shoulders, just
Yeah.
huge.
It's like a back piece nowadays. Is like the Instagram logo and this.
Yeah, a belly rocker. You know.
Some fucking dumbass out there has probably already done it, but somebody else is going to do it now, and it's going to fucking in Instagram, just like if you tattoo your wife's name on you.
Yeah.
It's going to fuck it up.
Yep. That'd be amazing.
I don't know, man. But, you know, you guys, you know, like you've had John take photos of your bikes. Like you see the art in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to respect it too. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother thing. Like even you taking the photos, like that's through your eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what you see.
Yeah, I think I'm actually one of John's biggest customers that never pays him.
That's the weird thing. Like,
Because like I painted his bike, I painted a couple of his SEMA cars. And
Yeah.
It's like I just keep taking my pictures forever, and we'll call it good.
yeah.
I got an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, that is
I'll
true.
take your pictures.
Yeah. I don't know if you grow a beard and look like John, maybe. I mean, his
Dude.
beard's a lot better
Yeah,
than yours.
it
I'm
is.
sorry.
He's so young looking.
Yeah.
Who, John or Steve?
No, John.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, he's solid, man. And you know what's crazy is like how, you know, his journey, what he's created with the pictures and his whole path over the last 15 years, basically, or 16, 17, something like that, from mini trucks, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that's fascinating to me as a photographer that he's traveling, he's living this life, he's honed it down to this like polished lifestyle that fulfills every need he wants in life, to my knowledge of his needs. You know what I mean? And to me, like that's success, man. That's way more success than like when I was, you know, 15 years ago thinking that success in life was, you know, a shop with 10 employees and fucking work in the shop. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so much different now. Like guys like John doing what he's doing and living on the road, but, you know, having friends everywhere to go see and catch up with. And dude, it's fascinating. He's like my spirit animal now, dude.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you. Every time somebody asks me about like, oh, you know John Jackson, I just kind of like smile and go, yeah, I know John real well. They go, well, what's he like? I'm like, he's a weird beard, like homeless dude that usually shows up in my driveway and plugs his really fancy RV / house in my, you know, house, and you know, we go and have a good old time. I mean, he's an awesome dude, and you know, I paint a ton of stuff for him, and you know, he's the only one that I think has more miles on a custom paint job that I've done than anyone else I will ever know.
He was showing me every aspect of the Sprinter.
Yeah, the
Like,
home wrecker.
Yeah, he was like showing me, oh yeah, I ran into something over here, and
Yeah.
he's so proud of that thing.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
John's a fucking super dude. I mean,
Yeah.
he really is.
But you know, like, I mean, guys like him inspire me. Like I said, Jesse Nelson, he was a photographer for the Urban Bagger and American Bagger for a long time, and now I want to have him on the podcast. I'm gonna try to get it while I'm in Sturgis, but he photographed for the magazine because he lived there in Spearfish, so he was doing all the magazine stuff. But then he would go hiking in all the, you know, the Black Hills, and I mean, he's in the perfect area for like nature photography. And so he would go hiking and get these fucking shots, and all of a sudden he ends up getting hired by the state of South Dakota to do nature photos to help them with promoting, you know, for the parks and recreation or whatever the fuck it is. And so like he built this thing off passion, and he might not have been into bikes the same way we are into bikes, but he did his best with that to fuel the passion for photography and take it to where he wanted to take it. And that's inspiring to me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and it's like same with John. Like he'll send me pictures of him riding the Specialized I custom painted for him, like in a cactus. Be like, man, I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I wrecked your bike. I'm like, it's not my bike, it's yours. But I mean, there's like a $5,000 paint job on this bicycle that he beats the shit out of. Yeah. But it'll be a beautifully, you know, picturesque, you know, canyon out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt. And here's John's bearded face just rolling around.
So yeah, man, like I think everybody should dabble in photography because it's only going to make your life better. It's going to make all the memories I'm slurring already. The memories of your life more palatable going back. You know what I mean? The funny thing about social media, right? Like we look at our Instagram timelines and we're all curating it at the best possible light to reflect our lifestyle, our artwork, or whatever we're doing. But even if it is just like a curation of our artwork and our timeline in life, if you just scroll down every once in a while, you're feeling down, you can get some inspiration from yourself,
real
dude.
quick.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, guys.
It's craziness. How long have we been talking?
Not that long, dude.
Really?
Yep. These are rookie hours.
Fuck, I mean,
By the time we
there's
started.
a lot of empty beers sitting on here.
Yeah. No,
I
we've
know
only
you're
been
on
doing
a
it for
big
2 hours, dude.
Really? That's it?
Yep.
Man, I think the last one was like 3.5 whenever we were all drinking and boozing at Daytona.
You're thinking, dude. That's what's wrong.
Fuck. God damn.
No, it's all
Quit
good.
thinking and start drinking.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't have to keep
See,
drinking. Y'all got to drive back across town, and 35 is not something to be taken lightly.
I mean, is there really going to be anybody out at this point?
It's not gonna be anybody out, but the road sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
it does.
So we've noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, does Dallas just enjoy building your interstates like supercross tracks? Because there have been some like railroad crossing style like jumps in the middle of a 4-lane fucking interstate.
It's tough. If you don't know the roads, you don't know where the massive bumps are. It could be a shit show for you. The thing about Texas and the roads is like we've like completely embraced toll roads here, and they're like privately owned toll roads, so they're not like government funded or anything
Yeah.
like that.
So does that mean that they're not taken care of, or are they actually?
No,
taken
they're
care of?
very taken care of, but it's like instead of like the government coming in to help fund highways and make them better, it's like when they widen a highway here in Dallas, they widen it with 2 lanes you pay to ride on.
And
So
those
the
are
other
really
one,
nice.
so
yeah.
so it's like this is a 2-lane highway. It needs to be expanded to 4 to meet the the growing population. All right, well you got to pay for the new 2 lanes,
And then
it's
you
not
call
like,
it an express.
Yep.
yeah.
Is that how that works?
So and it's not even like and it's not like the old toll road concept where like all right we're gonna do a toll here to pay back the cost of the road. No, this is a business that makes money that fluctuate prices on a fucking billboard. It's the worst thing in the world. I hate
Yeah.
it so bad.
See, like Pennsylvania, like we have a main toll road that basically goes from end to end. And I think if you go on because I'm the last exit in Pennsylvania before you get on the toll road.
Yeah.
I think it's like $45 right now to get from one end of PA to the other. And it is government funded. Roads suck. Good fucking luck. Wish you the best. And, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's terrible. But like coming through here, we've also noticed that people just stop in the left lane for no fucking reason.
Dude, that was unreal.
Like
Random ass stuff.
Like stop in the middle and then just everybody else bails and good luck to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no I didn't see an accident. It just 2
No,
fucking
there was
assholes in the
literally
middle of
2
the left
cars
lane.
in the left lane stopped, and there's people coming behind them doing 90.
Yeah.
And they either
Yeah.
see him and stop, or they swerve and hopefully don't hit whoever's next to them.
Like, I mean, I'm checking the box of rode a motorcycle through Dallas and lived. Check.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's not easy, man. Don't get me wrong.
And then if you don't know where you're going and you get on one of those express lanes and
Oh, yeah.
it goes to the left and you're supposed to go to the right, you're fucked for a while.
Yeah. It's complicated, man. It's that. But if you notice, like you're on the south side of town right now, right? So we don't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
We don't have any spread. Everything's like straight OG
Yeah.
down here, regular highway shit. But as soon as you hit downtown Dallas and north, you hit all the toll roads and stuff like that. They help and they're better, but they, like I said, it's just the concept of like paying that much money if you live in Addison, you go to Dallas every day for work, like you got to make that commute. It's cheaper to ride the bus.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, if you're going to ride the tollway, that's the fastest way to get from Addison to Dallas. You're going to ride that tollway. That's going to cost you over time. I don't know the exact number, but let's just say that it's going to cost you $150 a month, right? Your parking spot in downtown Dallas is going to cost you $150 a month, $300. You could probably ride the bus or the train. We have a little train. It's not a subway, but it's like a,
Yeah.
monorail, whatever the fuck. You could probably ride that for $100 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you start playing that game where everybody's trying to make money, dude. Everything
yeah.
is a racket to make money, and even if you're the kind of person that's like, you know what, I don't want to do the car thing. I think I'm going to save all the money I have and just, use mass transit or public transit and go that route. You'll save money. You'll ultimately win that way. But, their goal is to make it to where you're only saving like 5 or 10 or 15% versus kind of in some areas, if you do it right, you could save, 70% or 50 at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's see, I guess then my next question is, does your buses smell like pee like they do in Pittsburgh?
I don't know because I'm not poor.
Fair. Yeah, you ride some of the public transit in Pittsburgh. I mean, you're either going to get solicited for meth or maybe COVID. I don't even know.
COVID's the new sling.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Got that instant COVID, son.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly.
I get it, man. It's tough, man. But I don't do. Here's the thing: if I went to New York or even Philadelphia, I want to ride the mass transit. I want to see what that's fucking like. I've been watching movies
super
my whole life.
It's just like the movies.
Okay,
but have you ever ridden up into Boston?
I've never been northern. I've never been more north than Bristol, Tennessee.
So if you ever want to feel absolutely terrified on a motorcycle or even a car, go to Boston. They will fuck your life up so damn bad you will never go back. Because they have a whole underground interstate around that city. Yeah. And there's exits that the road will make a left and a right, and your exit's the middle. And it'll go up. I mean, wow. And if somebody accidentally pushes you across, you're smashing a concrete wall at 80 miles an hour. It's terrifying.
It's not made for pussies, is what I'm getting.
Dude, no, fuck yeah. Yeah, you ain't going out of there without some type of door ding or dent or something, because that fucking city could suck it.
Well, for me,
not that I don't like Boston.
Yeah. I don't know.
Your drive sucks.
Just going up northeast, man, that's still all foreign territory. Damn, I'm slurring like a motherfucker. It's foreign territory for me.
And I'm going to try not to fart down.
So since your trip earlier this year got canceled to go up on the East Coast, do you plan on doing that later on, or?
He should.
I can't do it later on because you have a window of opportunity up there.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to get postponed to next year.
Next year.
If next year exists. I mean, we're expecting a Yellowstone blow, Aliens. What else is probably on the list?
Yeah, it's a weird fucking time.
Well, it all depends, though, if Trump gets elected. If Trump gets elected, well, definitely Yellowstone's going to get blown. They're going to hit the button for that one. Yep. So it's going to be a shit show. It really is.
No matter what, it's going to be a shit show.
It's going to be a shit show no matter what. I'm scared as fuck. It's as much as I'm scared as fuck for the election, not even trying to pick a side, just whatever happens is going to be a shit show.
Yeah, it's an extreme one way or the other. For
sure. It's dude, I don't even want to be here, dude.
That's why we're doing these trips.
Yeah. So it might be the last time. It might be this might be like the Hunger Games next year. It'll be like districts, and we'll have to fight each other and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
the Arsenal's good.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Well, they said that Texas and Tennessee would make a good team. So who did they pair y'all up with? Y'all seen those memes? Well, they tried to divide the country.
I don't think I've seen anything up our way though.
They divided all the states into districts like they did on Hunger Games, and they paired certain states together, and it was fuck who you with. We run in the world after this kind of shit, kind of memes and stuff like that.
I'm sure we'd be all right with West Virginia or something.
Yeah. Nobody knows what West Virginia has, though.
That's what I mean. We'd be okay. We'd be on the same team.
You pull out a whole bunch of fucking what's that dude with the 4 arms on goddamn Mortal Kombat?
Right.
With the ponytail.
Inbreds with M60 machine guns or something. That's what you'll get out of West Virginia.
Hell yeah, brother.
Where's my boo stick?
We said next year that after the election, the country's going to be divided into Hunger Games districts.
Oh, fuck yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
1,000%. I mean, the place where he's from, we call it Vietnam.
It's legit.
That would be the place to go. They'll survive.
Yep.
There's more guns than teeth.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, it is what it is.
So what have y'all figured? Y'all haven't figured out, but so from leaving here, you're just gonna try to blast back. How many days are you gonna give yourself to get back to Pencil?
I mean, for us, I think as long as we're back by Monday,
we basically got another 7 days planned. So
yeah,
dude, you can go to California.
I mean, we could. So
You should do it.
Vegas.
Yeah, so Steve's a chronic gambler. So is there a Caesars property anywhere from here to there?
Dude, you can go up and hit the Talamina in Oklahoma, go do some real riding. You'll see those guys up there. They got some casinos, the Indian casinos.
Some Indian casinos.
Or no mask there.
No, there is. Yeah, you don't have to wear a mask in
Yeah.
Oklahoma. It's good. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what the plan is, but it's looking worse and worse in the Louisiana.
Just go north, man. Like, fuck that coast, man. Go head up into Oklahoma. Go ride that part of Arkansas that you missed and kind of cut up through. Maybe go see fucking Kyle up in St. Louis and just kind of go north.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's go crash.
That would be good.
Him.
Yeah.
That is true.
Crash his spot.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he still in Florida or whatever?
No, he's back
Sunday.
now.
He's back now?
He sent me a message the other day. I'm doing his helmet down there right now, and he's
Yeah.
fucking annoying the hell out of me. I'm just like,
No,
he's good.
What I should do is I should take like a sneak peek of it and be like,
Yeah.
guess what I saw, motherfucker.
I'm gonna send him the same picture. Is like the problem. So I haven't done a lot of carbon exposed helmets. I've only done that one and the one I'm doing downstairs. I'm on number 2. Right. It's a very different process. If you know how like my style is, or even like how your bike is, if you're trying to expose carbon, then you're basically trying to do. You're leaving it's almost like leaving the raw metal and then building up a flake base, and it's just mill thickness is ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to rethink how you lay out the paint jobs and how you do everything. And so I have his paint job down there, and I'm doing it, but it's not like I'm not as polished as the other style helmets. So it takes a lot longer and planning and.
So anytime I deal with carbon, I tell guys just treat it like another color.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Just
Another color.
like
another
I don't
texture.
seal carbon or any of that shit. I just sand it down and fucking paint it. You know, like all of Hoffman's parts. I mean, I'm getting ready to actually do our buddy Joel's bike. I mean, it's red carbon fiber. I'm just gonna sand it down for color, and I mean, I'm just going straight to it.
I was wondering when Curtis is going to do some tank half glue-ons that are just carbon.
So we talked about that because like, have you seen the couple guys that have like wrapped their tanks and shit?
Yeah, so John up there, Metal Innovation Iron. I can't never say his name's too long. He needs to acronym that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he did the whole tank that way. And so the same problem with everything. It's like when even if you're doing like how Insta having Kyle did his tank and his extra parts and how you did your tank, when you're laying the carbon on it and you're like using the resin clear and all that shit on top of it, you still have to worry about the weave.
Yeah.
And how it rolls around things.
Yeah, so like I couldn't wrap my whole tank with like the honeycomb carbon that I wanted.
Yeah.
Because that like crossover where the hexagon isn't actually woven into the carbon fabric.
Yeah, it's on top. Yeah.
So like I cheated and I made my buddy make me carbon flat panels, and I just panel bonded them motherfuckers right to the flat spot. But like Monty, his tank's wrapped. The same with that Metal Innovations. His tank's wrapped.
You said it so nicely. Metal
Right.
Innovations.
Yeah, I think it's Metal Innovations, right?
Metal
Yeah, it just
Innovations
rolls
and
off.
Artistry. It's John
Metal-
Singer, I
yeah.
think. Yeah, he's a good dude. We
yeah,
partied with him in Vegas, dude. Him and his old lady are fucking fun, dude.
Yeah, I think we met him in Daytona too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like pretty soon, you glue on tank halves that already have like the speed holes
So
cut
much
out
easier.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I panel bond shit together that I probably shouldn't have.
Dude, how many times we panel bonded stretched gas tanks on bikes?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you panel bond these lightweight carbon fiber things to get the carbon fiber completed look.
Yep.
And now with Hoffman having the front fairing done, and hopefully, if the Lord will allow it, we get an interfering carbon fiber one day.
Yeah. Well, I told him he should do a tour pack.
Dude,
And,
so the dudes at DA had a tour pack that's carbon fiber. I don't know who made it though.
yeah, and then that's the thing is like I've talked to some people that have done carbon tour packs, but they won't do it in the honeycomb because I guess it doesn't bend the same or whatever.
Yeah.
So I told Curtis, I was like, I'd like you to do a tour pack. He's like, well, I'm not because you're the only idiot that'll probably spend $2,500 on a fucking carbon tour pack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think there's other idiots, but whatever.
The
Kinda
old,
hurt- yeah,
trendsetter.
Kind of hurt my heart a little bit when he called me dumb.
I haven't been the biggest ambassador for carbon fiber, but I got the fender down there, and I'm torn because like once you actually same thing when I had my helmet, like I had a hard time painting because it looks so good the way it is,
Yeah.
So trying to like incorporate it in the thing, but the ultimate flex in all this shit is to have a carbon fiber bike like you have with paint on
Paint
it.
it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I like carbon fiber anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
again, coming from the car world, I mean, carbon fiber just looks sweet as hell when it's
Yeah.
done right.
Yep.
And I mean, not to shout out Curtis too much, but I mean, fucking A, that dude has it down to a science with all the colors and shit. And the red carbon stuff that our buddy Joel got, I mean, it's fucking awesome. And, you know, we're going to do some crazy graphics all over it. But use a lot of the carbon fiber to be exposed. And, you know, again, like you said, it's just a straight flex fucking thing. I might have saved 30 pounds, you know, in metal and plastic parts, but
it's about showing how big your dick is.
Exactly. I mean, that's, you know, I just let that dick swing whenever I add the parts to the cart. So,
you know, when you have this big old hog, you got to like save weight somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it chafes my knees.
All
like
the blood, it's like you know, all the blood goes there all the time. It's just like this like sack of dick everywhere.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's just difficult because what the hell did that Harley dude say about it? What did he call it? Duck sausage.
Yeah.
That's I guess a Texas term for having a big old hog on you is duck sausage.
Never heard that.
No, well now you have. Yeah.
You gotta understand there's Texas and there's Texas, right?
Oh yeah. Well this part.
So everybody comes to Dallas and think like we're all be walking around with cowboy hats and like riding horses to the bar.
Yeah. Wait, you don't do that?
Whatever, dude. You know what? The place I heard the most country music ever in my life, California.
See, I was gonna go with Nashville.
Nope.
I would never expected California.
Yeah, me either.
I went to NorCal. You know, Too Short, fucking, you know, Tupac original shit up there. All this shit. These motherfuckers listen to goddamn whoever is. I don't listen to country, so whoever is country, they're like, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all are supposed to be gangsters.
Different. I've worked up there a bunch too, and it's a different breed up there too.
Yeah. It's weird.
I can't get on board with that whole
thing. Most of the people that I know here in Dallas, and I'm not a country fucking nerd, like country music these days is kind of like it's like steak, how you want to cook, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't fuck with that new country. I don't fuck with that new steak. You know, you don't get that well done shit and whatever. Everybody's got their preference. So like country music is like 95 and older, and they fuck with that. And I feel like most of the people around here are into that. But all this like, if it's a thing, I don't listen to any of it, but like just absorbing everybody else's like shit. Apparently there's like all this new type of country that's more pop and, you know, rap and whatever the fuck it is.
So Steve, tell us about your
Steve's
thoughts
favorite.
on hip hop country.
My playlist for the bike is totally out of this world.
Yeah.
It's one genre to the next, and like it's extreme.
So if there's ever a time where I'm stopped at a red light and this asshole pulls up beside me, he will have his shield down, like kind of cracked, have country rap blaring out of it, and then all I see is his head doing this. And then he gets pissed off at me for not hearing him.
No, he's. What
Are you?
listening to?
Is the Nelly country song on your playlist?
That is not.
Okay.
That is
Wait,
not.
what? There's a Nelly?
It's
Like
it's
straight
not.
country grammar Nelly?
Yeah. So here's the deal. Like I
Shut
started.
the fuck up.
It's
What has
not.
happened right
we
now?
were in the shop one day. And I had just like fully subscribed to like Spotify, like paying for everything. So
Yeah.
I was like looking for the weird shit. That Country Road song is pretty fucking hardcore, dude.
And it's from Nelly?
No, Country Road, like the fucking Old Town Road. Sorry.
Like the Take My Horse to the Old Town Road kind of
Dude,
thing?
I fucking was singing that for 3 days afterwards.
See?
Okay,
catchy.
so
It is
now
catchy.
here's my question. Have you heard the heavy metal version of it by I'm drawing a brain cramp on it.
I'm going to stop you there. No, because I don't care.
I mean, but it's magical. It makes you feel good to get inside. But this guy's got some weird shit. I don't get it.
I would listen to I grew up on rap, dude. Hardcore rap. Like
Fuck yeah, some 90s rap.
90s rap, like fucking everything from, you know, the Chicago do or die scene, the pimp shit that took place there, the MJK and 8 Balls from fucking Memphis to Louisiana with No Limit and Cash Money, all that stuff. And Dallas never really had a big rap scene growing up, but you know, all that stuff. And then you get to when I got like 2002 or 3, like rock started sounding cool as shit, you know, like System of a Down and hell, even Godsmack, even though that's a Hell Yeah Brother shit now.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that Scorpion King shit back in the day, y'all remember that?
Scorpion King shit. Now, did you have a stereo on any of your sport bikes?
Not on my sport bikes, but when my first big wheel, I had big stereo. I didn't have big stereo like they do now. I had focals. So I had like expensive, high quality, quality sound shit, but it wasn't like loud the way that like these Hertz horn tweeters are and shit now. You know
like
what I
you
mean?
didn't have like 2 or 4 8s in your fucking inner
No,
fairing?
no, never that. Like even when I had that stuff and it was really loud, I never felt cool riding up listening to that. If I was drunk, I've said this many times. If I was drunk, all bets are off. I'm fucking.
Everyone's listening to what
Everybody's
I'm
listening to whatever the fuck I want them to listen to. But for the most part, like I never liked that much attention for that reason, because when I'm sitting there at the bar drinking a beer, having a conversation with a friend, and somebody pulls up blaring their shit, right? So you're commanding attention, right? So now when I look at you with all that attention that you just commanded from me, I see all the insecurity in your faggot ass. You know what I mean? You're sitting there, you clearly don't listen to this kind of music, you nerd with your fucking bandana and your hat over it to hold it on. Like, you're not into this. Like, you came up here to, like, to fish for a friend.
Yeah.
Right? But you came off like a douchebag, and now we're making fun of you.
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of feel like this is like every bike week I've ever been to.
So
Yeah.
so
Like,
we
I
were
swear.
laughing at Daytona where we saw a couple like huge stereo big wheel bagger shit where thought the whitest dude ever on it listening to the most gangster N-word filled music that he could possibly have found.
Don't get me wrong, I grew up on that N-word.
Oh, dude, exactly.
I grew up on that shit.
Any
and-
90s rap.
Yeah, and there's plenty of times when I had my stereo, I would jam like some Tupac or some like, all that type of stuff. Especially the fucking All Eyes on Me album. That's one of the best albums of all time. But
you ain't a 60-year-old white dude.
not at completely not. And so
Wearing the
the problem
Affliction
is
Yeah, wearing affliction
You
pants.
I feel both equally bad and torn for those dudes, because I get what they're doing. They bought this cool bike. They want to get accepted into this like this world, right? They'll tell you, no, I'm who I am, bitch. I don't need your shit.
Yeah, but
no,
they're just trying to fit
motherfucker.
the mold. Yeah.
You're alone riding on a loud ass bike trying to make friends. You're doing it wrong. Just be vulnerable. Being vulnerable in life sometimes will take you a lot further than being arrogant or being over the top. You know what I mean? So those bikes come in, they do all this loud shit. The problem is that the majority of people think the shit's gay as AIDS, right? But there's 5 dudes that think, fuck yeah, it's my jam. Hell yeah, brother. And it's like that. And that dude, that little squirt of fucking inspiration to those dudes, like gets them going for the rest of the night. I'm like, if you could have just paid attention to the masses, you realize that this was not cool, and you could have fucking stopped right there, and we could have figured this shit out. Got you on the right path. But you attracted the meth heads to the situation.
Maybe that's what it was at the Exxon.
It was very well could have been.
Yeah,
because
so-
everything was there.
So in Nashville, we see this I assume methed out wonderful lady who supposedly threw a rock through another possibly methed
And
out
we're talking
dude,
a rock.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
border rock.
and she proceeded to just scream her face off about what'd she say?
She was not going to get raped for $20.
Yes,
Get screaming.
And the
running
guy's like
down
in
the
denial.
road.
Wait, dissect that. I'm not going to get raped for $20.
Yeah. So as
yeah.
we're standing in the corner of this,
Is that
gas
more
station-
like I'm not going to take dick for $20? She just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go do this for $20.
Yeah, I think that's what
I
it was.
charge 40.
yeah, exactly. Like I feel like
exactly what it was?
Yeah, if it was a solid 50 for sure.
Yeah.
But it was just weird. But like the sport bike guys that were there that like watched this all happen all had stereos on their bikes.
Oh, well, it's because they can't afford baggers.
That's what it is. I never even thought about it
Probably
that
like
way.
zip tied onto the handlebars, like the JBL thing or something.
Oh fuck! I never even thought about that. Yeah,
Right.
never even thought about it that way.
I mean, makes sense now.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
think about it. Yeah.
And then it attracted all the meth heads.
We definitely did because we seen that.
Yeah.
We definitely saw all that.
Wow, my world has just now completely came in full circle.
I kind of feel like we need to go back to Nashville.
Yeah, sport bikes with stereos attract meth heads.
Do we need to go get your big wheel bagger?
Yeah,
Take
we'll
that
put
down
like
there?
some random rocks around like the gas station
Oh,
and see what happens.
Fuck yeah! I never even thought about it that way. That is perfectly magical.
Oh man.
Huh? So are we going back to Nashville?
I don't know, wait for it.
Nothing.
See if it does something.
He's not going to.
Yeah, he knows that.
He's
it picks
shy.
It up. Yeah, it picks it up now. He knows. Wow. So are we going back to Nashville to just track down more meth heads?
I mean, we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
honestly.
That was the stairs.
Sure.
Mine was too.
Yeah, meth heads, man.
Yeah.
They're entertaining.
So now, okay, and here's the other thing I have a question about, and I've asked everybody that's in this performance bagger world. What is the weirdest shit you've been asked about your remote reservoir setup?
It's usually air ride or nitrous.
Okay, I got like taillights. I've gotten all that shit too.
Yeah, dude, it's a tough one. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough because it's not. You know what's tough about it? Is trying to explain what it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes the bike handle better, and they look at you with this blank stare, like, does it make sparks?
Yeah. It doesn't make sparks.
It's like they're looking for some kind of like thing it does that like makes it relevant. You know what I mean? Because it's so predominant on the footprint of the bike, basically.
Yeah. Because I had a guy that
stairs.
was very upset that whenever I grabbed my brake,
Uh-huh.
that my brake lights didn't light up. Even though I have like the custom dynamic CVO ones that are obviously the brake and turn signal, he wanted to let me know that my 2 brake lights were out. I was like, "They're what?" He goes, "They're the little gold things, your lights." I'm like, there's no lights in there.
Yeah.
So, and then like you said, you had to explain to him what the hell that was, and
Was this person a resident of Vietnam?
I mean, it could have been, but I don't think so.
Easy.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
can't
I
turn
think
your head.
that's from your headphones to your microphone. Oh yeah,
That is okay.
yeah.
I'm learning.
There you go. Don't put your head next to the microphone.
So yeah, that's the worst part because like you see them and it's never really the bike guys. Well, it's the bike guys that ride metrics.
Yeah,
They come up, but usually the harder dudes are way too cool to come ask me anything about the bike
yeah.
because they think their bike's cool.
This is true. This
So-
is true.
But no, it's that or the guy in the car that's like trying to strike up a conversation. And dude, I get weird because like I'm at I'm really thinking about shit. So when I think about that dude that's asking me those questions, I'm like, where's he at in his life?
Yeah, yeah.
To where this is important to you right now, and you don't ride bikes, or maybe it's just an inquiry or whatever the fuck it might be. But I'm just like, man, like I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole. I just never had the nerve to like. So what's that about?
Well, and see, like we did this at Daytona, where I think we were at the racetrack. And have you ever seen the Instagram account "Fuck Your Bike Sucks"?
I think so.
Follow it.
Yeah, so if you haven't, everybody that's listening to this podcast should follow it because it is the most magical fucking thing ever.
Before you know it, you'll be tagging them left and right.
Yeah.
Correct.
You will.
So like I think I still have it on my pictures here of all of the craziness. And there was this one bike that was in Daytona that we just could not understand. And what I want you to do is look at this picture and describe what you're seeing.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's see.
So here it is. So describe what you're seeing, Jace. How would you describe this?
Clearly, a white dude owns this. It's like a white dude that has no flavor or style, but has money to buy into the culture of urban bikes.
Okay, that's
Does
a
that
fair
sound
statement.
racist?
I mean,
No.
no, I wouldn't go racist. I mean, you called the guy white.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming this guy picking his music with the stock handlebars that are extended 2 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's not, dude. All this work, he's got stock floorboards on this bike.
It's pretty magical, isn't it?
The
So
thing-
how would you describe the tour pack? Because this is what I ask everybody that I've shown this picture to.
It looks like that thing, that skate tool you'd have as a kid, where like, when you,
It's so true.
like the tool that like would tighten the trucks or tighten
Yep.
the bearings
Yep.
or whatever the case may be. It's like that little 4-way.
Yep, it's like
Yeah.
a weird quad wrench looking thing with just speakers everywhere. So we watched this poor bastard who I assume, would we say built it?
I gotta see it again.
Yeah, it's
It's
I
pretty-
don't remember which one it is.
That green mess.
Yes.
So this dude was like looking for I assume a plug to plug the bike in because he was playing the most, again, loudest shit ever. And we're assuming the owner was there with his young child that was standing next to this motorcycle, blasting this thing at 11 in like a stroller. And he proceeded to park his child like right next to the bike, and the dude was just showing him all of his sweet, sweet sounds and
Yeah.
whatever, and blew out this little baby's eardrums.
So what drives me crazy about this, and this is why I said like the perspective from my angle, looking at these dudes that drop $20,000 in stereo equipment.
Yeah.
That's what's going on these bikes. If you guys are in this performance bikes, you don't know what's going on in the big wheel bagger world, or even just the stereo bagger world, which is now, I'm gonna coin it now. I said it, stereo baggers.
Yeah, I will go with that.
So these dudes are dropping. I had a shop hit me up. Right, they wanted me to paint the bike for them, and they proceeded the conversation this way. Let me tell you how they tried to get me to want to paint this bike. Hey, what's up, man? We like your paint work, man. We're building this bike. This dude's dropping 18 grand on a stereo. We just dropped 14 grand on a 32-inch 3D wheel. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. Money, 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 money. We got 6 grand set aside for paint. I said, I don't fucking paint bikes for 6 grand, especially not baggers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry, man. Oh, man, we think your bike will, we're going to do all this stuff and we're going to get you a lot of work. I'm like, you're not going to give me shit. You came to me. I didn't come to you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I did not ask you to paint, whatever. So, point of the story is that these dudes spend so much money on this bike. And what I want people to, like, we're all going to see these stereo baggers. They're everywhere, right? It's the new big wheel bagger. It's what it is. Watch the guys who own it, right? This is the most saddest thing you're ever going to watch in your life. Black dudes pull this off, just like they pull off fucking headsets, like Bluetooth headsets, walking around talking on the phone. You're at the gas station, he's talking on the phone. He's like, oh, he's on the phone. Like,
yeah,
they pull off shit white dudes cannot do. This is one of them. These dudes will sit there and they'll be on their phone right next to their bike because they got to be close so that everybody knows it's theirs. White dudes I'm talking about. And they're looking for this song. They find this one. They always find the 5 songs at the shop that sold them the bike, tell them to play.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. And if they don't get, then they start digging deep into their own personal collection, and that's when they lose it.
Yeah.
Oh man, they didn't like Skinnerd. Oh man, I'm fucked. But it's so like, to me, it's sad watching a dude who spent so much money on this thing that he's fishing for attention and friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When if he just would ride it, if he would just ride it, if he would just spend, instead of spending all that money to be obnoxious, just ride your bike and go make real memories and value a photograph, value burning out your tire, value a chip on your fairing, value the time you spend on your bike. You would find so many more friends that way.
Yeah.
Because most of the friends you're going to find flexing like that is like dudes that are looking at you because you're kind of trying to show off the fact that you got a little bit of money, and motherfuckers, that's how that's how a lot of people make it. Like, oh, this dude's got money. You walk up to him and tell him his shit's weak in a nice way that makes him feel like, yeah, you're right, because nobody's paying attention to me. I can make your shit better. Perpetual movement of the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, you see these dudes like just trying to fucking fish for relevance in this scene, right? They might be the fucking CEO of Apple for all I know, but here they're fucking nerds. You know what I mean? Because they fucking picked the thing that's not respected, and it's only respected amongst a very small group of the motorcycle industry.
And like with that too, like even like the performance end, the big wheel end, stereo end, I feel like the performance end is so much more inviting. Like,
It is.
Anybody will talk to
if you
anybody
do
about
it.
anything.
If you do it.
But like the big wheel end and the stereo end, like they're standoffish, like this dude's competing with. Either where like the performance end is like, well, you got this, like why, like explain it so like, oh, now I want to buy them parts because he made it that way,
Yeah.
Like I don't know, just the whole performance end of it's so much better.
It's just open. It's open.
It is.
It's more of a. Like you said, it's inviting, man, and that's what people need. We talk about Harley. That's what these dudes. That dude with that stereo trying to play fucking whatever rave song is popular right now that I don't even fucking know, but it's on the top 100 or some shit.
Beats per minute shit.
Yeah, dude. Like that's not motorcycling, man. Like you're missing the point. You're missing what this is, and so like you picked that path in the motorcycling. It's not going to fulfill you the same way that like riding is for me, right? Or that has been for you guys, or the camaraderie you find in different homies all over the country. And so you're not going to stick around. You're going to be like, I tried that. This isn't great. I'm going to go to boats. Yeah. All right. What are you going to do on boats? I guess I'm going to put a stereo on it, see how that works. You know what I mean? Oh, that didn't work. I guess I'm going to do 4x4s or side-by-sides. What are you doing that? You gonna put a stereo on it? Oh fuck, man! Like now he's got $100,000 in stereos between 3 different platforms, and nobody likes them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he could have just bought some pussy.
It's probably cheaper, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe she'll make you a sandwich in the morning or something.
He could have bought me as a friend.
I mean,
For sure. I mean, I'd be his friend for about, $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
He got a good 4 months out of me. We've been good friends, brother.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that outfit, dude.
Oh fuck.
No, I agree. I think a lot of it is that it's just the guys in the performance industry, performance bagger industry. They're more genuine. They're out doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
To ride, and I mean, like you said, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to make friends in it because everybody's.
I would almost say that the performance bagger is a little bit more than, like, say, a Dyna or some of the other bikes, because a lot of us, and I'm not trying to say in a flexing kind of way, but a lot, like, to have a performance bagger, a bagger in general, is more money. So it's a little bit more of a established state of mind, if you will. So, like, there's not as much. I'm sure there is, but it's probably not as much as, like, in the Dyna culture of flexing of, oh, you rock these parts, which I got my parts that you can fuck off with, but at the same time, there's, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit more, like, oh, cool, man, you're doing this too. That's cool. I hope we're on the same page, as opposed to, like, if you got a sick Dyna and I got a sick Dyna and we're both trying to do cocaine on this stripper's ass later on,
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, Daytona, because it was, like, the first year for, like, the performance baggers were part of, like, the show series, if you will. I mean, we met a ton of people. Like,
was that last year or this year?
This year.
This year.
Because, like, we met a ton of people, like, the V-Twin Visionary Performance Show and all that stuff, where it wasn't, like, a massive show, like, Bagger of the Year or whatever the fuck they call that. But it's like we saw those people at all the shows, and I mean, we stood there and bullshitted with each other and talked about riding.
Up, like, later, and we rode together. We went at dinner together.
Yep.
Like it was inviting. It was open to everybody. And
it's like the one guy. I mean, I forget what his name is off the top of my head. It's sad. Like I know everybody from, like, Instagram handles, but it's dude's name on Instagram is like McNasty. Has a fucking CVO performance bagger, all carbon fibered out, inverted
The
front
white
end.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing's
And I
gorgeous.
mean,
Yep.
dude's fucking nice as hell. Tell you anything about your bike, and I mean, we rode around there for a little bit with him. I mean, again, we met Ben. First time.
How'd y'all meet each other?
What show was it that we were at? Was it?
So I don't know, because I went to both of them. I went to the one at the skate park.
Yeah.
Skate
I
park was
think you hit
V-Twin
me up on
Visionary.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and said if we were out, they'll let you know. And, it's like shit. The one night we went to dinner, and I think we had probably 10 bikes.
yeah, because that was the night you come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we met Connor and T-Bagger and
Yep.
Kyle come out. And
yeah,
there's
and
a bunch
Monty
of
and all them guys.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like all of us, rode to a fucking dive bar and had hush puppies and beers and
Hell yeah.
had a good old time. And
How many times we eat Hooters when we went there that year? I
Oh,
feel like
fuck.
that was the go-to
Yeah.
every day.
What else was there? Like that was it.
yeah, I think we did eat Hooters like 3 or 4 times. I think I was chicken winged out for a while.
Yeah. So you just went to Daytona like all willy nilly like and shit?
Honestly, yeah, it was kind of. I got the bike and I'd already been looking into it and knew I wanted to get road glide and get into the performance bagger stuff. And yeah, I knew I was going to be quitting my job and like doing a complete lifestyle change. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going. Like, go down there. So grabbed the wife. We did trailer down because she had never been on a big trip like that. And I hadn't been to that extent. So
Had you been in Harleys much?
No. Like I said, I had done some bobbers, but a lot of them were all Jap bikes that I built into them.
Like the Yamaha bobbers? And
Yeah,
shit
that, and I had a little Kawasaki Vulcan that I'd built into one too. So, no, we just decided to go down there and try it out.
Hell yeah.
Fuck it.
Yep, tried it out, and then he met us, fucking idiots.
You don't live too far
Here
from
we
these
are.
guys?
It's like
3-4 hours.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, it's not bad at
Different
all,
states.
honestly.
Virginia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So, like, he actually rode from Virginia by himself to Pittsburgh and met us at Steve's house, and then we all left together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think right now he's beating me and Steve on mileage, but
Yeah, you'll
on the
make
way
it up
back.
as soon as you pass my house. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the same thing, like, for us, like, we have a group of friends in East Texas. They're about an hour and a half from here.
Yeah.
Dude, like, extended family, man. Like,
Yep.
it's been over the course of the last couple of years. But, like, that's the thing about, like, these different style of bikes that you get into. You start getting these really close bonds of people all over the country. And, like Rusty up in Memphis, y'all met him yet? does like the wheelies and shit on the baggers. Solid, dude. You got to come to the camp out, man. That's like the.
I think we might have to do it one of these days.
That's like the performance bike breeding grounds for this side of the Rockies.
Yeah.
Man.
See, like I could put a bike together, but I don't know if I could put a tent together. Like, where's this fucking pole
Or
go?
what was
you
it?
know?
Steve's camp out. Remember the picture I showed you?
Oh yeah,
Dude
yeah.
sleeping on top of his tent.
Yeah.
That would be us.
The point is to get fucked up, and who cares?
Exactly.
It doesn't
You know,
matter.
a lot of dudes will just do hammocks and shit like that, or, dude, like I said, it's all about the basics, man. When you get to the basics and you just do that shit and stop worrying about how cool your bike is. That's what I love about my camp out. The people that go there is created, not me. The people have created is that it's all about just being there, fucking hanging out. Your bike's parked over there, so you're not standing by your bike trying to be relevant to that. Like it forces you to come to the circle and either, you know, come in and interject yourself and, hey, I'm fucking Bob, and, you know, fuck your mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, hey, man, what's up, guys? It's awesome, man. What's going on? You know, and just ask questions. People like to talk about themselves, so just ask them a question.
Yeah,
you know what
true.
I mean? And then do that. Like, it forces you to be back a little bit more of the old school way of, like, interacting with people rather than, like, only interacting with the fact that, you know, your bike is this or your bike is that. So what's cool is, like, we're all sitting around a campfire now and like, hey, man, where are you guys from? Oh, we rode down from PA. Fuck, badass. I don't even know what the fuck you rode yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit
Where'd it
you
come
just
from?
did made you guys cool to my perspective. So, dude, what kind of bikes y'all ride down on? Oh, we got these one bikes. And I'm like, those motherfuckers right there?
Yep.
And so, like, you walk over there and you're like, now I'm nerding out on that. So, like, that's that's the best way to, like, fall in love with friends. You know what I mean?
It's
with
real.
that. Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
It's not superficial. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, damn, y'all did cool shit on that bike. I'm inspired now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? I love that shit. And I wish people would do more of that. And then when they go to those places, they go to the Up North Camp Out or ours or any of them, man, like, just be vulnerable a little bit, man. Just go out there and just fucking, like, you know, just be a nerd for a minute, man. Like, hey, guys, fucking here to party.
Yeah.
Right?
You know?
Well, it's like, I think this time at Daytona, I mean, we had more fun, you know, riding with Monty and Kyle and, you know, Ben and all the guys that we met, you know, going to dinner the one night. And, you know what I mean? Shit, if Monty didn't work, you know, the show, he probably would have rode with us and sent Kyle to St. Augustine and all that shit.
I want to have Monty on here because I think that's a fucking rad-ass lifestyle to be
Oh, yeah.
pinstriping and doing that shit all over the country. Like,
Yeah.
people have been doing that for years, but he's the first one that's in our age bracket
Yeah.
that I've known that's doing that shit.
And Monty's a special human because he's from, like, Lithuania.
Yeah, he's
or
got a
some
cool story
fucking
for sure, yeah.
goddamn.
I bet he's got some really hot sisters.
Exactly, like or family or something.
Yeah,
I mean, that's that. Yeah, he's got to have something because I mean, Monty's a fucking super dude. I mean,
Yeah, he
he's
is. He's
awesome,
cool as shit.
and you know, like I said, that's how we kind of got introduced to Kyle, and I think all of us, you know, became friends with him and Monty and all them, and it was a good time.
It was crazy too, because like Kyle and Lonnie and like all them guys, like even you, Jace, like I've followed you forever through social media, and then finally meeting you guys and like putting like a face to it and seeing what it is. It's
Yeah.
cool, you know. And nobody's an asshole.
That's
You know?
what it was like last year at Sturgis. You know, last year at Sturgis was Spataford Choppers rented a house and then like let all of us performance bagger dudes crash there. And it was like a cesspool of fucking nerds, dude.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I was not in the right state of mind when I was there. I had a lot of other shit going on, like through business. You know what I mean? But you know, I left early and I regretted it immediately because I started seeing all the videos of those same dudes I was partying with continue to do cool shit. And I was like, fuck, I wanted to be a part of that, you know? But yeah, man, like these dudes, like they're all rad. They're all hungry. They're excited because this is new for all of us.
Yeah.
It ain't like, you know, I've been riding for a long time and some of you have as well, but we ain't been riding these bikes. We ain't been doing this shit.
No.
This is new to all of us. We're all on the ground level of this stuff. So, you know, all that big dick energy of like, yeah, I've been doing this shit since 04. You know what I mean? I was almost on Discovery Channel one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all that shit, that's not part of this scene. This is all new to us. We're all new to it. We're all, you know, we're all kind of on the ground level of it, which makes it much more like gives you ownership of it for the most part. You know, maybe in 10 years we'd be like, yeah, I was doing that shit a long time ago, fag. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I don't know. Then maybe we'll all be on like drop seat 360 choppers again or some shit.
Man, I might need it. You know what I mean? They say that, I don't know. I personally right now, like, I want a vintage chopper. I want one. I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
Like an Iron Horse or
No, like a vintage Harley chopper, like a shovel head, like a 70
with like
something.
a Sugar Bear front end kind of shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I want something like that. I don't think I'm gonna like it, but there's this like, for lack of a better term, I hope my wife's not listening right now, but for lack of a better term, bike styles are like women, right? I want to see what it's like with the redhead. So in that kind of concept, I want to see what it's like to ride a bike with a vintage chopper or you know, a shovel head or a rigid shovel head or something like that. I might not like it, but putting one together, customizing it, painting it, getting it ready, I'm gonna fucking fall in love with this idea. And then when I finally get it, it might suck, it might be great. I don't know. I'm gonna let that moment decide for me, but I still want to do it. You know what I mean? And then once I've done it, I had that redhead once. It wasn't the best.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really into that anymore.
Well, see, I had an 80 FL8 shovel head for about 15 minutes. And I was like, man, kicking this thing's a bitch. And, you know, it's just leaked oil every fucking where. And you get out on a highway with only 4 gears.
Yeah.
And you're doing 60 miles an hour. That thing's screaming.
So,
It's like,
so about that though, like for me, and I'm just my perspective, as I've traveled across the country on bikes, every bike and every style of riding that bike has made it a different experience, even if it's the same road, right? So the trip from here to LA on that bike is going to be way different than the performance bagger. I'm going to have to adjust everything. I'm going to have to change the whole trip.
Yeah, because you're definitely going to get run down by an 18-wheeler if you're on the highway.
So it's like it opens up for the opportunity of having an experience that you'll never get to have again. So when I say, like, I want to build this chopper, I really would like to ride it across country. Or when I say, you know, I'm in Dallas, so across country is like half country. You know what I mean? Anywhere I go, it's like it's a matter of just that experience. It might be the worst trip ever, but I'm always going to remember it. Like I was telling you earlier about the shitty times, you know what I mean? But getting out of my system. And also, dude, I'm knocking on 40's door right now, so it's like I don't think I'm going to be able to ride a hardtail chopper anywhere very much longer, if I even can now. You know what I mean? So do it, get it out of the system, check that list, motorcycling fucking 101 checklist. And, you know, hopefully we got ruined. We jumped on baggers early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got my first bagger at 29. I'm like, I shouldn't be on this.
Yeah.
This is a 40-plus-year-old, 50-plus-year-old bike.
But they're so fucking nice.
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
I got my flip-flops.
And I could finance it for 7 years, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where this goes for sure.
I'm good with it. Wherever it goes, we'll still be riding bikes. You ain't gonna not leave. You're not gonna leave bikes. You know what I mean?
Fuck no.
I feel like the bug's in you even better now. Like,
see, like, and that's the thing is like I think me and you talked about this whenever you're riding cross country and shit. I was like, man, I don't know how you fucking do it, and I will remember this to the day I die. You looked at me straight in the face and were like, you got to be in a mental state to fucking do this.
yeah,
And I'm definitely in that point, and I will tell you this trip will be fucking awesome.
yeah.
You know, the company I'm with, and I don't care if it's all highways or back roads or where we go or whatever, but it's gonna be a great week.
You know, when me and my buddies, we did this last trip to same route you're doing right now. We were leaving Nashville. We were dreading the Nashville to Little Rock. You know what I mean? And I remember we stopped at a gas station in the middle of it before Memphis, and you know, it was kind of a shitty gas stop. It wasn't really nice gas. There's a lot of methy kind of vibe. You know, it was just kind of like, ugh. You know what I mean? But everybody was kind of like, me included, was all kind of bitchy and bitching. And I was like, you know what? Motherfucker, next week, when you're at work, you're going to wish you were right here at this shitty-ass gas stop. So think about that, man. Like, and when you start taking that perspective, because after when you do your first trip, you start to see those spots you hate, you dread them, and then you do them, you're like, man, I don't never want to do that again. But then next week, you're like, man, I'd love to be right there again.
Yeah.
So it changed after the first one. It changes your perspective of of like that trip and these trips and those shitty times. It's like those shitty times are better than a lot of other times in your life.
Yeah.
It's like those little stickers on your car was like gone fishing, or I think that's like when you're crazy or something, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, you know, it's, you know, I'd rather be fishing or some shit like
Worst day
that.
on the golf course is better than best day at work type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. Good, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's the thing is, I think, you know, one, the company I'm with is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
again, we ride well together, and you know, we just don't have any plans and just see where it goes.
Yeah, the good thing about it, though, is if you are really into this, your company's going to change. Some people are going to stay around for the whole trip. Some people are going to come along and dip out. And every time you do these trips with different people, it becomes like a new experience. You know what I mean? So it's like it never ends, man.
Yeah.
I've been on this road trip and shit for almost about 8 years now. Fucking love it, dude. It's been a really eye-opening part of my life.
Yeah, well, it's
You know?
like Steve, like, I give full credit to for making me do a lot of this stuff, because, like, you know, he called me up and said, hey, let's go to Ocean City. It's like, all right, well, fuck it. There's 5.5 hours of a ride, and, you know, just slowly all of a sudden work to 3,200 miles, and I don't know, what is it, 12 states?
I mean, yeah, it depends what we do at
Yeah.
the end, but
So, I mean, we made stickers for this event, for Christ's
Right.
sake. Like, all the Harley dealers, next time you're bored and you happen to go past any of them, there's probably a Degenerate Tour 2020 state. Like, because I made, like, the outline of the country and then had our tour kind of listed on
Yeah.
it. And, I mean, it's on garbage
even
cans.
the Boulder, the crackhead threw the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put one on, and then it turned into police evidence.
Yeah.
and they
Cop
ripped
came
it right
over,
off.
so mad.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, did anybody touch this rock? And no, we all were like, no. And then Steve's like, but I put the sticker on it so you know which one it is. So, yeah, there's been stickers all over the fucking place, and gas stations and Sonics
And all 4 of the open bars in Nashville,
yeah.
and at least 2 or 3 of the urinals,
Yeah.
or other hidden places that you'll never see.
Yeah, and if anybody happens to find one and tag us in it, I'll give them a shout out.
Oh, that's
So
worth
worth
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a T-shirt. I don't know.
Yeah. Do I need a T-shirt?
Dude, what size are you now?
I don't know.
You too extra sexy, or
I don't say those things online.
all right, fair enough. Yeah,
All right.
I'll make it happen.
So, dude, it's 3 hours. We're good now. So
Well, hold it for 2 seconds.
let's wrap this bitch up. Tell them your Instagram. Tell them where to follow you.
Lucky Strike _ designs, just like the cigarettes. All the social media is all pretty much the same.
Oh, yeah.
All that.
Hawkeye _ Kustoms, Instagram. Steve Youngkin on Facebook. That's it.
Bodywork _ Ben on Instagram, and Ben Gerton on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
You know, we
Well, I
got
appreciate you
underscores
guys.
and all that shit on
Yeah,
everybody.
right.
Yeah, you some proper motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We use spacing.
Well, I'm glad you guys did this. It's been a nice talk because, like I said, I'm really almost co-inspired by the fact that you were doing some cool shit now. You know what I mean? Not that you did cool shit before, like the
No,
bikes
but
and
yeah.
stuff, but you know, like I like seeing the enthusiasm you guys have for riding now. You know what I mean? Like this shit is a weird thing that you have to find the right mixture to make it work for you. It's kind of like, do y'all have like Genghis Grill where y'all are from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know,
Like
you can,
BD Mongos?
it's like a mongrel, like the Mongol, like you make your own bullshit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You're going to fuck it up a couple times so you figure your mixture. But once you do with the bike trips, you'll figure out what works for you and what makes you really happy on it. And then you'll start compounding and create this like massive, like new lifestyle, to be honest with you. And like for you, like doing this stuff, if it does anything like it has for me, for you, it's going to be interesting to see how like your paint work reflects your riding that you do and have been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah. So,
Watch the fuck out. Might get fucking weird.
all right, cool. Thanks, guys.
I love you,
Appreciate it.
Jace.
Appreciate it.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Always a good time to have these guys on. They're cool. They're killers. Love them. If you guys want to support this podcast, check out patreon.com/Fast Life Garage or go to our website, fastlifegarage.com. You can check out links to our Patreon and other ways you can support it. And honestly, the best way to support this is to check out our sponsors. Dream Rides John on Instagram and teamdreamrides.com. Paint Huffer Metal Flake on Instagram and painthuffer.com. Fast Life 20 for 10% off your order. ThunderMax EFI on Instagram and shoptmax.com. Offer code FASTLIFE for 10% off. Lexan-Moto on the web internet. Lexan-Moto.com and at LexanMoto on Instagram. FastLife at checkout, 15% off. Invisivin on Instagram and Invisivin.com. FastLife for 15% off. And Simpson Motorcycle Helmets on Instagram and SimpsonMotorcycleHelmets.com. Struggled with those ads today, didn't I, folks? Anyway, going to be back here in a few minutes with Justin, my machinist. Yes, I'm dropping 2 podcasts today. Getting ready to go to Sturgis, so I'm just going to try to dump out what I got because I'll be gone for a couple weeks. And, you guys are just going to have to figure it out while I'm gone. Go check out some other podcasts. And then, I'm going to be coming back with quite a few episodes. So August is going to be a good concentrated month at the end of the month with episodes. So thank you guys for supporting all this shit and being there for us. And, we'll see you later. Peace.